telling.
Let's go.
All right,
That's what you gotta look for. He's telling you something. That's what you gotta look for.
Covering all your sports info. You step in and stand clear. Let's go. Don't stop. You got Super Dave, Coach Kirk, and Todd the Magnificent. You're now tuned in to Bars and Hoops Radio, where the world of hip hop and sports live.
Bye. All right. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is May 19th, 2025. We are live. It is Super Dave along with Coach Kurt.
What do you know?
Serge the Sports Star.
What's happening?
Slick the Relic.
The living fossil.
And Todd the Magnificent.
Back in the building once again.
All right, y'all. So we down to 4 NBA playoffs, live and kicking tomorrow. 1 o'clock, I'll be trying to get my tickets for the first game.
Let me find.
All right, so you just did. All right, now we're gonna hit Todd because Todd got something to say off the rip. Let's get over it.
I hope my man Kenny's out there listening.
He said he would.
I did tell you if y'all win, and it was just the one game, not even the whole the 4 games, but just that one game, because I did say Boston, y'all wouldn't win another game. And if y'all did, I said I would come into here and apologize. And I'm going to apologize to all the Knicks fans, because whoever was listening, yeah, I said it. I did say it. But y'all won, and I'm glad y'all did. And to my man Kenny, especially you, just meeting you, because you was determined. You said, watch what happens. And they did exactly what you said they was going to do. But I'll say this. I just hope that wasn't it. And I hope y'all take advantage and win the series against the Pacers, because beating Boston can't be the end all to all, you know, to the whole thing. You got to beat the Pacers too and get to that championship. So my apologize to you, especially, and to all the Knicks fans. Let's go. Let's go.
Let me give him some claps.
Big up.
Yeah.
Even though we was out there before we got off the air talking about he had to do a Paul Pierce walk from Brooklyn in his bare feet. He didn't agree to it, but okay. We'll accept the apology because it was spoken like a man. And on top of that, he's the so-called enforcer here, so we ain't really want to beat him up.
Right. And listen, he wasn't even on the road to see if I was walking or not to pick me up. You see a brother like Mungo, he at least could have rolled and make sure. You know what I mean? But he ain't call me and say, yo, T, where you at?
You ain't give me a path.
He didn't even call me.
Walking. I expect you to walk down Belt Parkway and back to Stillwater to Coney Island Yard and back. Could you have done that?
Coney Island Yard.
Yeah, that's about 10 miles.
Shit.
Woo. All right. So, I mean, the playoffs is off the hook, off the chart. And, you know, I think fans, you know, all over the place is a fan frenzy type of thing. And it's 50-something years that we haven't won a championship. Since 98 have we been to a championship. So that's like 26 years counting. So we're one step away. Eastern Conference Finals. Matchup, it should be tough. I'm anticipating a dog fight. What does everybody spin on it? Going around. We'll start with the Magnificent. What do you think?
Well, y'all owe Indiana, because you got to remember the last year when they eliminated y'all, how they were acting. You know what I mean? And I believe Halliburton had that Reggie Miller choke T-shirt on, walking around. You know, even though most of the Knicks, you know, y'all was playing wounded, but you know, you got to keep that picture in your head, and you gotta make sure you go at these guys, and you know, if you could put your foot on their throat, keep it on there. Don't try to go 7. Hopefully, you don't want no 7-game series. You got the home field advantage now. Take advantage of it. You know, that first game, those first 2 games in New York, make sure you come out of there 2-0 and let them know. You know, because they're not easy. It's not an easy team to beat. but they play 10 deep, and they run the whole game. And it's not like one person they count on because they ain't got no superstar on their team, so they use everybody. But I hope Tibbs, boy, he got something up his sleeve as far as these
beside his arms, right?
Yeah, because you can't play the same guys all game against Indiana.
No.
By the fourth quarter, you're gonna be done.
Yeah.
You're gonna be done. So I hope he don't do that. He got to use his bench. He's gonna have to trust his bench, and I hope he do it. Or it'll be a short series for real.
We're in the New York state of mind. The Relic, what you got?
Now, I agree with him with the T-shirts. I will put the T-shirts on everybody's locker. Everybody's locker gets that T-shirt so they can see that. And but I still feel that this is a setup for the fans to be disappointed. I'm sorry, but
You gotta apologize.
this is how I
Speak your
feel
truth.
because this is what they do every year. There's something that's going to happen. That's where it is. That's how it is right now. Sorry, guys. I know Kurt don't want to hear that.
It's not like what your spin doesn't make us, feel
Yeah, I
in
know.
a particular type of way.
I know. This is how it is, though.
Well, they wasn't expecting you to sit here and pick the Knicks.
Oh,
I'd have had to
well,
check
they
your
definitely got a.
I would have had to check your temperature.
I don't.
But
They
I
definitely
know.
have a chance.
I mean, it's no expectations on nobody. It's just how you see it.
They definitely have a chance. The thing about it is the two teams that shot all them threes, they the ones that's out of here because once they shoot the threes and they missing and they get in the hole, they keep shooting the threes. Now you're happy that they're shooting them because they missing. We already up 20. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We're already up 20. You throw one up, you miss. All right, we come down, we make it 2. We might hit a 3. Now you're down 30.
The game, because even that
Indiana ain't doing that.
Yeah, they're not gonna put
That's
up a
the
whole bunch of-
difference.
Well, no, they don't. They're not that.
Yeah, they
jack
don't do
them up
all
like
of that.
No.
Right.
Because even watching that OKC series with Denver that last game, both of them coming down shooting threes left and right, and
Right.
ain't none of them going in.
Right.
None of them.
I'm like, what is this basketball, man?
Yes.
I know it's like ugly.
That's
It
not
is.
basketball.
It's no.
That's not what we grew up on.
No.
Not at all.
And then when
It's ugly.
you look at all the misses, you be like, damn, if we'd have shot maybe 10 of those as twos.
Right?
They get mad if
wouldn't
you
have
take a
lost that
long
coach.
too.
Exactly.
They get
Yo,
mad.
I was watching the
Oh, you
old
can step back and take a 3.
I was watching old
Yeah.
school
They
basketball
get
and I
mad.
see Malone, Duncan, everybody, they right within the 3-point line hitting that too. And like coaches today have make like you said.
Take a step back.
Right. What are you doing? Like you going to the bench.
What
If you
think,
ain't
sir?
KD in them.
Serge is quiet over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to
There's
D.
a
Middleton,
there's
Cecil
contemplating what
Agard,
he's
John
gonna say.
Cool,
Yeah.
Desmond Malcolm, Big Chef, Biggie C. the Chef.
I've been
Everybody
very
watching.
wrong about all these
And
playoffs,
Green.
So I'm gonna keep on being wrong, and I'm gonna pick the Knicks to win the whole thing. Just so that I can be on purpose.
Please say
On
Serge.
purpose.
You've been wrong the whole thing. So
Yo,
you might as well
So
keep
I'm
it up,
gonna
right?
Stay wrong.
You gotta go keep it up.
I'm
This-
gonna stay wrong.
and this is where you're gonna get right. Okay.
Can't get right. You said, right? Can't get right. You said, right?
Oh, boy.
D. Middleton talk about the 49ers in the building. We're gonna get to that in a second. But go ahead.
Only
Coach Kurt.
Only the quarterback is in the building.
Coach
He's
Kurt.
that's
They
it.
ain't
But
got no team.
that's it. First of all, y'all just mad because y'all got the 8th pick. That's why.
Wow.
But
We gonna get
anyway,
to that.
But yeah, I know it ain't nothing to get to. It is
Right,
what
we
it is.
talked
It's
about
it.
it last week.
Yeah, whatever. It's still lingering on, but But as Todd said, you can't run up and down with them. They do go 9 to 10 deep because they run. If you able to slow their game down, they can be beat because they don't really have a
Set
set
offense.
offense running like that.
Mhm.
You know, they got to get Towns early into the mix as far as the games go. Get them going and whatnot like that. You know, because I don't believe in Turner being able to stop them. And if they go the 2 big lineup, they'll definitely out rebound. They was out rebounding them last year when they played them. And the last time the Knicks went to the final, they beat Indiana in the conference finals, Eastern Conference Finals. They beat the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks beat them to get to the finals or whatnot. But let's see what happens.
You talking about the Reggie Miller or
Yeah, the
Yes.
Reggie Miller
Yes.
era, right?
Mhm.
That was so long ago. But all right. So what's so
99.
crazy though, like how everybody was talking about the threes, and I would say Boston gave away 2 games to the Knicks, and the Knicks actually won 2 games. So
Why would you say that Boston gave away
the
2 games?
first 2 games they were just so adamant about shooting the 3 and not trying to get easy baskets, uncontested threes. You taking them and you missing. You wasn't playing to win, and it was like they was playing your game. They wasn't really playing their game.
That they take threes. That's
But
what
like
they
you said,
do.
they was uncontested, so they're gonna shoot though.
Right,
But my
they
thing
was,
is
yeah.
this: you the defending champion, you up 20
Mhm.
in your home,
Right.
2 games in a row, and you lose that league.
Mhm.
That shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't.
That shouldn't happen.
And
But the same way they got
But
the lead is the
We
same way they
what
play
we-
all the
What
time.
we always say, sir, you can shoot yourself in the game and
Yeah.
shoot yourself out the game with those
Mhm.
threes, and they did it not once but twice.
Right.
So you would think after the first game they would have
But
changed
Made
up.
It
adjustments.
wasn't gonna change.
But the
Yeah.
thing is that during the whole series, they never changed. Their
They didn't.
It wasn't gonna
They
change.
didn't.
The games they won because they hit the
They
three.
was
Right,
making
that's
them.
And the
exactly
games
right.
They lost because they
So they
couldn't hit
missed
them.
right.
Right.
And
it
it-
wasn't
so-
gonna change. That's
And
their
my
philosophy.
thing, I was watching, I think it was Get Up, and the young lady was saying that the Knicks defense, no,
No.
you was shooting wide open threes.
Yeah, they were
and
wide
missing.
And they were missing.
Why-
So-
and then the other young lady, oh well, if they shooting wide open, you don't have to cover them. Really?
Okay.
No, that's
So-
crazy.
You used
Nah.
to play the game, you're gonna say something
Right,
stupid
that
like
don't
that.
make no sense. My question is this though: who do you blame on that? Is that coaching?
That's coaching. That's
you
their
you
style.
telling me? I get it. That's your style, but if Plan A don't work, you don't got a Plan
No,
B.
you got to go to the back.
I've been
Right?
saying
Don't you got a Plan B if
Yeah.
Plan A don't work?
they
if
don't
you
have a
coaching?
plan B.
Right.
Boston
None of them
and
do.
Cleveland do not have it. They didn't have a plan B.
That's the coach's job. The coach's job,
But like
Right, that's
you
what I
said,
said, it's
Denver,
coaching.
Denver and OKC, they was missing all them threes.
Yeah.
They
They
didn't
kept
change
doing
up.
it.
No.
They
It's,
kept
it's
doing
the
it.
way the NBA plays now.
That's
Mhm.
horrible.
shout out
Yeah.
to Bernard
It's not
Hall,
about A and
Kevin
B. It's
Goffney
A all the
watching.
way.
Yeah.
So
It's-
again,
mhm.
I,
just got hope
I
you
would
make-
say
40% or
That you
35%.
Right.
Boston style of basketball when they were taking uncontested threes, missing, that was on them, and they could have did something about it, but they
But-
continued to do what they do,
Mhm.
and
And
they was missing.
and you know what Boston would say? We won the championship last year.
That's last year.
I mean, right?
Doing that though. You know what I'm saying? Like we won doing this. So
I
why are we
got
going to
you.
change now?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why they out now.
Yeah, I know.
you gotta have a Plan B. I'm sorry.
That's what I
You
said.
got to change up.
Slow
I mean,
that, slow the game down,
see-
post up, do
You
something.
you up 20 in the first game, you lose that game. You see the league dwindle down, you lose
Mm-hmm.
it. Now you're playing the second game, same scenario,
Mhm.
same thing, and you watching the league go down, and you're gonna
Mhm.
keep doing that. And you're not gonna call timeout to change up. You're gonna
Right.
keep doing
And,
that.
and a lot of them threes, I remember when Tatum was in the game. I forgot what game it was, but a lot of them threes, he was covered. And he was just tossing them up. And I'm like, yo,
He be shooting
said,
far.
what? Right.
He
What
be
you,
shooting far.
like, what are you doing? Like, they not even concentrating on the shot clock, like nothing.
So I mean, well, I think they wanted to go on that trip to the Bahamas or wherever it was
Yeah, they
early.
did.
So, and I mean, sometimes you win the championship and then your desire to repeat
It's not
back
as
to
hungry.
back is not there. So,
I think being that they're Celtics, it is a pride to win two.
It is. You gotta win more than once.
Yeah, it's a pride to win two. You know what I'm saying?
They play to win every time. Every year they play for.
Yeah, it's a
championship.
pride to win two.
They play
well,
You can win one. That's like a flash of the
well,
pan.
let's just think about this though. Like with Porzingis, with whatever type of infection he had, he
What
wasn't
is that? What
playing.
did they say he had? Do y'all know?
Some illness.
It
They
was
never actually
something.
said
He
what
wasn't. He said
exactly.
he wasn't.
He just said it was
Right.
an illness.
And-
It's gonna cost them. It's gonna cost them to be on that roster. I think last year he may not be
Well,
there.
he-
They're gonna make some because
They
they
gotta make-
Yeah.
because they're gonna pay almost
Like,
$500
$500
million
Yeah.
in
I mean, he got a championship now. He
That's
got money.
ridiculous.
How do you allow? You know, you're the only real star on the team, and you foul out in the third quarter. How does
think he
Jaylen Brown,
mailed
how does
it
he
in.
do that?
Didn't,
I think yeah.
The game before, didn't what's the name foul out in the third quarter?
Who?
No, he had
Jalen?
five. No, he had 5 fouls. in the
Brunson.
third quarter. Yeah, Yeah, he had 5.
But he
fouls
fouled out in the fourth
in the
quarter.
fourth quarter.
You
right,
fouled
yeah.
out in the third quarter. 2
Yeah.
minutes left in the third quarter, and you know you're the only guy they.
I
they
agree.
had.
I
I'm
agree
like,
with Jose that
I
yeah,
think
he
probably
impacted
nailed
it.
it in.
He knew it was over. He
All right.
Yeah, he nailed it in.
Because by that time they were there like about 20-something, 30
Yeah,
points.
shout out
Like I
to-
said yesterday when y'all was talking about how Denver wasn't playing.
They gave
They
up with
knew.
9
They
minutes
gave
left.
up.
They
Yeah.
knew.
They emptied their bench with 9
They knew.
minutes
They
left in the
knew
game.
that
in
OKC
a
was
game
not going to miss
7.
14 games.
At
14
nine
games.
minutes
They
left.
knew that.
At 9 minutes left, at least try to. If you can get the game to half, you still got a chance. A point.
Yeah.
The point.
Right.
But
But they
yo,
couldn't.
He
They
gave
couldn't.
it up.
he
They gave it
emptied
up.
his bench
They
with
wasn't
9
playing
minutes.
well.
Well, you
It
know,
wasn't just,
They were.
that
Murray
was,
didn't play good. Porter
Right.
didn't play well.
Right.
Gordon was playing on one leg.
Yeah.
right.
And Jokic was just out there.
Yeah.
They didn't play
They didn't
well.
play well.
So they mailed it
After
in.
the second
Right.
quarter,
It
they.
didn't matter.
Yeah.
They knew.
They were saying that Gordon wasn't going to play. Then all of a sudden, somehow,
I give him credit for trying.
Mhm.
I give him credit. It's a game 7.
So let me ask you this.
To be hurt like that, he played.
He
probably
played pretty
as well as
decent.
everybody out there.
Yeah, he played decent.
Let me ask you, okay, what do you think Boston should do with their team next year?
ooh,
As far as that nucleus, I mean, I don't know if they'll keep because he makes money too, don't he?
Who, the guard,
No, the center.
Porzingis?
No, the other one.
Horford.
Horford.
Oh, you see,
He's on his way out. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No,
he's-
he
How
said
old
he's
is
done.
No, I'm just saying.
No, he's
What is-
38,
Yeah, he's 38.
and he's in good shape.
he's
I'm
still in good
saying
shape.
I don't
He's
think
still in good shape.
Porzingis. I know Porzingis makes. I think that contract's gonna be done
Yeah.
because I think you can
Is
just. I
Is he a
believe
free
so.
agent?
No,
No?
I just think they
Might
might.
not trade him.
They probably give up, trade him, or
Well,
something.
I don't think Hartford makes as much as him.
No,
Right.
but I think they're gonna have to do something to get rid of him, to
I
trade
don't
him.
you know what? You got to think about it like this. Tatum's not going to be there next year.
But he's
No.
still on the books.
He's going to be on the books,
He
but
get paid.
they
But he's
should be
only-
able to get
what,
some type of
you
You
exemption.
talking about he's not
on
gonna
his
be there
I
salary.
because
don't
he's
think
gonna
they
be
will.
rehab.
Right.
I don't think they
he's
will.
only what 27.
Right.
Yeah, they
So
still
he's
to be on a
part of your
team.
future.
Yeah,
But
because
he's
you
not
gotta
gonna play
you gotta.
next year.
Next year is not a year for
Still
them.
gotta pay him.
Yeah, next year is a year for them not to win. They're
Right.
not gearing up to win
Exactly.
next year because of the injury. It'll be
Right.
the year after.
Right.
So it's eventually Porzingis, I believe, is going
And
to
they
be
might
off the book.
they might try to trade some moves.
But you
Like,
know what?
they might move what's his name? Holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say.
They might move
It's a
Holiday.
possibility because he didn't show up at all in the
So-
first.
No,
game.
he didn't.
He didn't show up at
Yeah.
all. He wasn't
Godfrey
his
said
son.
he was on a respirator. He was having
The-
breathing problems.
Who?
The
Kevin,
Porzingis?
You're right.
Oh,
Who?
okay.
The four
Porzingis.
guys,
Oh.
the four guys that I think that they're definitely keeping is Brown, Tatum, White, and Pritchard. Then they're gonna
Yeah.
build around those.
Build
four
around the
guys.
go. That's- okay.
Porzingis for KD.
Whatever.
What? What'd you say?
No, you don't want to pay a lot of money. You don't need a big expensive guy.
Yeah, because they way over the
Yeah,
cap.
yeah, yeah.
Because you still got Luke Cornett here. I'm sure he don't get paid.
He's
a lot.
not going
Get paid.
nowhere.
Nah,
Right.
He's
right.
not going.
Right.
That's
He'll
why I
be part of the
said. That's why I
team.
said
Right.
Porzingis will probably be gone.
Yeah,
And Horford too, because he's
It
too
could-
old.
yeah, he's up there.
He's getting up
But
there.
he
Well,
plays a
Horford-
role for them. He
Right.
plays a
Horford,
role.
like you said,
And
he's
he
not
don't
getting
have to
paid
play
that
major
much.
minutes.
No, he
Right.
doesn't.
But that role,
So-
that role he played, he didn't play it this playoffs against the Knicks.
So a
He
team-
didn't do
Did
nothing.
anybody?
No, but he really didn't have an
Like
influence
saying-
whatsoever.
like
Him on
saying-
Holiday, neither one of them had any influence on that series.
Okay.
I don't
But
know what
sometimes-
Holiday's problem was, but
Right, but sometimes you keep a guy like all
you
those
could get
years.
something for Holiday.
All those years, Miami kept what you call him on the bench.
Oh,
Well, for that-
Haslam.
Yes.
Right.
So that's like.
But he
that's
didn't
how-
make a lot of money.
No,
right.
but you just need a guy like that in that locker
Yeah,
room.
well, if
Yeah.
he's
So
willing
they
to take
may
a pay
pay
cut to
Horford.
sit, then yeah.
Yeah,
But if he don't
you
want,
know.
if he still
But if
want to
he's
get
done,
paid,
yeah, you know.
see you.
All right. Shout
I
out
don't think he
to
gonna.
Go
How
sit-
much
go
more
take
money
her-
he gonna make?
Go take Halton's spot in Miami. You want to
No.
be sitting on the bench, influencing stuff.
shout out to
You
Eddie
need players.
Ferguson. Said the Knicks
Man,
in
it's good.
7,
If you got a good
OKC
enough team, you
in
can keep
6.
A guy like that. But when
Right.
your team is questionable, like Boston's is now, because of the injuries and everything else, they need to make moves.
Yeah.
They and like Coach said, their salary is crazy.
Yeah,
No,
it's,
it's
it's
crazy.
crazy. You got $200-300
Can't-
million
you can't
dollars.
pay
Guys.
It's
guys
over
like
500 million. They got to
Yeah.
pay. Like,
Yeah,
What?
that's crazy.
Okay, so
I'm about to look it up.
Porzingis,
what do you think?
is.
What do you think
22
Cleveland?
million.
huh?
They
That's what he's
said-
making.
That's what somebody said. And Michael Porter was hurt.
I was about to tell
Yeah,
Stat
yeah,
Boy
he had
over
the
there.
shoulder injury, but still.
Why you looking at me?
He ain't
doing all
never-
that.
he-
It's just
Why
time
you
for
looking at
putting up
me?
the shots.
You
He
was
ain't
on your
never
phone
seen
and
a shot.
shit.
He ain't
No,
like.
not a bit.
He ain't never seen a shot. He ain't like
Who's that?
Michael
Michael
Porter.
Porter.
Oh yeah, he pulled.
He
He's
ain't
shooting
never seen a
open,
shot
he's
he
shooting
like.
with 3 guys on him.
All
He's
he
shooting-
do is shoot.
Yeah, right.
That's
his whole
it.
game. His whole game is predicated
I
on
don't see him
3-point
going
They
to
should
the
move
basket.
him too. They
It's a
should-
They might.
possibility.
They might.
It's a
because
possibility.
they in trouble because they don't have
Yeah.
a first or a second round pick.
Yeah.
They don't have no picks this year.
They got to get somebody. They need.
So-
even Whatcom said that they got to get him some help. They got to
Yeah.
get the Joker some help.
So
Yeah,
what
they
was the
can't
guy
rely
that
on Murray no
played?
more.
What was the guy that played good in Game 6 that came off the bench for them?
Oh, he ain't do jack.
For who, Denver?
The young guy, Scruthers, whatever the hell.
Right. Well, you got to look at
For
it.
Denver?
You got to think
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Who's that? Scrub?
The game
Yeah,
He
before
used to
he
go
had
to-
a
he went to
good game.
Gonzaga.
and that was
Oh.
part of the problem
He's a-
with the GM and the coach.
Right. They,
They was clashing
about-
Right.
The GM was saying that he need to play the younger guys.
Right.
That guy
So-
Whatcom's decent on their team. Watson
And
He's
Braun is
decent.
not bad.
and Brown ain't
Yeah,
bad
they're
at all.
not bad, but they're not
Brown
ready.
ain't bad.
They're
Brown
not
is
ready
good.
to take them
That's because
guys.
they're not letting them play. Braun,
Yeah,
played
Brown
very
is
well.
Brown is good.
But
That
don't Brown
Brown's a play.
start?
Yeah,
He started.
do start.
He was coming off the bench, but he started.
Right,
This,
coming down. The
but he's legit. That guy's legit. The guy Watson can play too. The other guy's the other
Yeah.
guy I was talking to, I didn't see too much of him
So
to see.
They
He
don't
had
play
one
him that
game,
much.
right?
so Murray was hot and cold. He had some good games. He had some
Yeah,
bad.
he wasn't it. So
Well, he plays better in the playoffs than he did during the season.
this was the worst I've seen the Joker play. But I think he played too much. He don't get on
Yeah, he
because
played.
you're burning them out.
They needed to let Jordan play.
Yes,
at
I'll
least
give my
10
say.
minutes.
You
At
tell me
least.
Jordan can't
Something.
Yes, he
cover those
can.
minutes?
Yes,
I mean,
he
come
can.
on.
They don't
Yes,
never
You
he
don't
do
have
that.
to have him for scoring.
Right.
Play, rebounding
He
defense.
can give you 10 minutes a game.
Right.
Yes, he can.
I didn't
For some
understand
reason,
that.
Yes, he
yeah,
can.
for some reason they
Give
don't do
Joker
that.
a blow. but
Yeah.
no.
Saying, and we're sitting there saying it's the
And he can
coaches,
eat up
the
some
coach they
foul.
fired, but they did the same thing
Yeah.
with the other coach.
He could play 10 minutes a game without question.
Yeah.
I
And
would
he's
think
not a
so.
scrub.
Okay.
He's
Now,
not.
okay, what do you think Cleveland should do? You think they should break it up?
No,
Go back.
you
come
don't
back
break.
with the
You
same
don't break
approach?
that team out.
What's Kenny doing?
Whatchacombe wasn't 100%. Whatchacombe
Yeah,
wasn't
they guys was
100%.
hurt. I give him
The
guard.
guard
Garland
was
was
hurt.
hurt.
Garland was hurt. You can't break that team up yet. You can't break them up yet.
Not yet.
Running
No,
back.
not yet.
You saying running back?
Yeah, not yet.
What are you saying, man?
I'm saying what's Kenny doing?
They had the best
That's
record.
all I'm saying.
They had
That's
the
all-
best
that's all I'm
record, so
gonna
they did
say.
something good.
That's
Had the
what he's
best
gonna say.
record in
What's
the
Kenny-
East.
what's Kenny
Yeah,
doing?
That's all he said.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
What you say?
Okay.
You
Had the
wanna
best
throw
record
threes
in
up?
the East.
This is, it's
I was like,
it's
OKC had the best record.
it's what they call it when you it's feast or famine.
So Middleton said the refs allowed OKC to maul the Joker. So I mean, I think it was fouls on both sides.
Yeah,
Because
why
nobody
this-
else was doing nothing.
They were more
So if
than
you're
what,
not-
but those steals, those
Right.
are legit steals.
If those guys are not doing anything, then you can sink in on the Joker.
You see
because
how
the
many
other guys are
times
not
you see
doing
how many
nothing.
times Joker be pushing off with that
Yeah,
offhand?
he do.
Oh, come on,
He
man,
do.
get out of there.
I think
That guy,
that sometimes like you won your championship and other teams are on the come up. And
Yeah.
like, you know, it's the Knicks' turn this year, maybe, or Minnesota. So like, I mean, it's good for other teams to be competitive, but it'll
Yeah.
probably be
It'd be a different champion
other
for the past 8
teams,
years.
right?
Yeah.
Denver been in the mix for like the last 4 years.
And they
They've
got
been
one.
a solid team. They got one for the last 4
They
years.
got to the final once.
They
And
won the
and
championship.
they
That's what I'm
won.
saying. Yeah,
They
but
won.
they was like for the
They
last
will
4
come. Yeah,
years.
they will come.
They've been a good solid team. And usually teams have a run like that,
Right.
Mhm.
3-4 years,
As
and
long as
then
you keep the guys together.
right, you keep your core
Right.
together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
and they
even
did.
like you see with Boston, they were the same way for the last 4 and 5
Mhm.
years. They were
Yeah.
knocking on the door,
Well,
knocking on
it
the
was
door,
Boston and
knocking on the
Miami.
door, right,
That was
knocking
there,
on the
and
door,
Miami-
knocking on the door. So
Miami didn't get it
yeah.
done.
Right.
And
The Knicks been knocking on the door for the last few years.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They've been battling. So you get teams like that. And teams people remember because they was asking what's the name on OKC that? SGA. You know, he remembers last year
Mhm.
and whatever. That's all he was thinking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What happened to
Dallas
them last
eliminated
year.
them last year.
Right. He
Right, with
remembers that.
Luka.
You know. So,
So and I don't want to talk about guys that are really going, but like Middleton said, they push off. How many times has Cat pushed off with his shoulders?
well, you could push off with your shoulder.
Cat
Your
don't
hand
really
is
get.
a different
Right, you
story.
can't extend.
Yeah,
Cat
you can't
might-
extend your hand.
Cat might
Extend your-
commit dumb fouls, but he don't get no favorable calls
No.
neither.
No,
No.
he don't.
They blowing the whistle on him.
What you call him push off with the shoulder all the time, Brunson? You could do that with your shoulder. You just can't swing your arm out.
Barreling
You
into
can't be
somebody,
swinging your arm out.
you know?
Arm out.
Ain't that what LeBron do?
You gotta know how to get. You gotta know how to get people off.
80
You
Fisher?
see how they
Yeah.
What you talking about?
barrel in front of people and people flop on the ground.
Hey, well, you know.
And then the callers make.
That's how you get calls. Because
Yeah,
they
and it calls
say what's his name do it all the time. Harden used to do it all the time. He
Yeah,
go in,
right,
he
right,
go in
right.
and lock your arm underneath and
of
then go up.
course.
Right.
He used to do that. Oh, you gotta
You
get
gotta do
guys
what you
off
can
you.
do.
So yes.
If you get
Either
calls
make
that
them
way,
make
you
the call-
continue
yeah.
doing it until they stop it.
You know?
For me, as far as Cleveland's concerned, I know it's going to sound crazy, but I think they need to trade Donovan Mitchell.
Oh.
They got a good enough young core without him that if they could trade and get a decent player and some draft choices for Donovan while he's still at the top of his game, because I got a feeling for whatever reason, he's the kind of guy that's going to be Charles Barkley. He ain't never going to win a championship. And it's not going to be his fault because
Right.
he's going to be the best player on your team.
Right.
But something always happens to stop him from winning.
And you know what's funny?
And I think that Cleveland needs to step away and say, okay, let's get rid of Donovan, get another decent, because Garland is an all-star.
Yeah.
He's an all-star.
He's
already.
legit.
Nobody's an all-star.
He's legit. They
Jared
legit.
Allen is good.
Yeah.
They got a lot of talent.
Yes, they do.
Maybe, just maybe, they need to get rid of Donovan. Trade him to somebody who could use somebody to help them get to the next level. Because, like I said, there's something about him. Everywhere he goes, he plays very well, but he just doesn't never
He
get
can't
out the
finish.
second round.
He can't
Never.
finish.
You know
he can't
what-
finish.
you know your-
It's funny. I mean, it's
Go
funny
ahead.
you say that. He says it's crazy that it may sound. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. I
But do
think
you think?
this for me. Go ahead.
No,
say
go
say your question if I can answer.
I think that they need to feed the big man more.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's my,
Why does he feel like he has to put it? And it's almost like Jalen Brunson.
I got to do it.
Why you got to think you got to do it by
Carry the
yourself
load.
when you got all those guys on your team?
Right.
And then by the time the fourth quarter comes around, you're tired.
Right.
See, that's
Oh, you
another
get
reason
hurt.
Trying to
why-
do too much.
Yeah, you try to do.
He-
You got
he's
enough
doing
guys.
all
You don't have
that
to
work.
save
Right.
that for the fourth quarter.
So maybe if he's not there, they utilize everybody
Everybody
else
else.
much better.
Yes,
But
I
when you
agree.
got a guy like him who's that big a talent, and he is a big talent,
Yeah.
he gets his,
Yeah, he's explosive.
but it doesn't help.
He
No,
runs
because
out of
he can't-
gas all the
Right,
time.
you don't never get to where you want to get with him.
Nope.
So maybe he needs
All right.
to be done.
Kevin Godfrey said trade Mitchell. It's not his fault. They were missing 3 starters. But I
No,
mean,
they
he
had
said
some
they was
injury.
hurt.
They has an injury. One
I mean,
game they
but-
missed.
But
each
you,
other.
you heard what you said. We say, they should be giving it to
Right.
the
They
big
should
man
be
more.
getting that ball more.
That's plan B. They never go to that.
so,
No.
They had a
No,
20-something point lead, and he ran
No,
out of
they
gas
had
the
plan
last
B.
minute.
That's
so,
plan B.
like, but
This ain't
who,
working on the outside.
who do you
You
trade
got
him
guys to
to,
do
and
that.
what do you get for him?
You
'Cause
gonna get
you
That
something.
definitely
depends.
got to get something.
Oh, they're gonna
You
get.
gonna get
See, if you
something.
trade a guy like him, you're gonna get somebody.
something.
You don't give a player like that away and don't get nobody.
You're gonna get draft.
You're gonna
choices
get and a good
player.
player.
You
Yeah.
can trade him now and get one of those high draft picks this year. Somebody will take him
Yes.
for one of those high picks this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Like
He
send him,
reminds- you know who he reminds
send him to
me of?
Dallas and get Cooper Flag.
No,
Damn.
Oh,
I wouldn't give him the number.
Dal-
one.
That's
Dallas,
number one.
Dallas.
I wouldn't give
Well,
him the
I
number one pick.
talked to my man Roll. They said they taking him. They not trading that
Right.
pick.
Oh,
They
yeah.
taking
Oh.
Cooper.
Could you get Bo to
better.
call the show?
He wants a guard though. They want a guard. They
could you
need a
get
guard.
Yeah.
could you get him to call
Like they
in?
not
I
giving.
was
They
getting ready to
not.
say that too.
Huh?
Could you get him to call in?
Maybe
I mean,
I'll
you
see
didn't
what
walk
happens.
across the Red Sea in your bare foot, but could you get him to call in?
I hear you. I
Yo,
hear you.
2 minutes. That's all we need.
I hear
2
you.
minutes.
I'll see
Yeah,
what
I got
happens. I'll
enough.
see
I
what
got
happens.
2
enough.
minutes. We
Y'all
got enough.
Yeah, y'all got enough. Y'all
Yeah.
fine.
We are.
If you win it all out, you definitely have enough.
Oh, okay.
But that
I'm
would
talking
be
about Rolando
that would
Black,
be
man. That's what I'm
that
talking
that
about.
would
Oh,
be
I mean,
interesting to see like what team would get him if they know that he's on the trade market. Where he go? That would be very.
It would be
interesting.
nice to see. A
Very
team that-
interesting.
Well, there's quite a few teams that's
he can fit in with any team.
with any team because they get an
He
explosive
got
guard
crazy game,
who can score.
and that would be interesting. Come to think of it, like you said, I wonder if they pros that to Dallas. Would they take their number 1 pick for him?
Well,
Would
Ky-
they take
Kyrie's,
him?
out- Kyrie's gonna be out
He's
half
gonna
the
be
year.
out. That would be very interesting.
We're just gaslighting some
Denver.
stuff here.
Denver.
Kevin said Cleveland was the number 1 seed. What are they trading their star for? They need to stay healthy. I mean,
That's
You
No,
know,
I did say run it
that
back.
sounds good.
I get the
I
healthy
get that,
part,
yeah.
but even with the healthy part, it's always some reason why, as well as that superstar plays,
ooh,
he never
Frankie
got out the
Galloway's
second round.
watching. Hi, Frankie. All right.
And
Anyway,
they got bounced the year before.
He did the same like he said the year before, and he did the same thing when he was in Utah.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
he
light
put
him up,
crazy
light him
numbers.
up, light him up, and then the fourth quarter
Mhm.
when it was time to make the key basket or whatever, clank, clank, clank.
Gas.
Even in that
Yeah.
game, what's the game where you know, he was scoring. They tried to make a little comeback, and he missed 3 free throws in a row.
Missed 3 free
Mhm.
throws in
In
a
a
row.
row.
Who did that?
He did.
Donovan.
Yeah, in this game.
They tried to make a comeback.
Yeah.
Who did that? Oh, no.
He missed 3 free
Three
throws in
free
a
Was
row.
he out of
Right.
gas?
That was late in the
gas?
game, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Those is needed free
Right.
throws.
3 in a row.
That was sort of rough.
Yep.
I don't
You
know
can't
what it
make
is.
one.
Like Sir
Come on,
said,
man.
he does that every time.
Every time.
in the
And he
big game.
always
I
stars.
watched it.
He's
Yes.
a star. I'm not
And
saying he's
no,
not.
he is.
But there's something there, just like I said, like
Something's
Charles
missing.
Barkley. Charles Barkley was a star,
Yeah.
and he never won.
Yeah.
There's certain guys that are just not destined to win, and I think Donovan Mitchell is one of them.
Mm.
I don't know why, I just feel that way.
I hear.
Patrick
And I
Ewing.
think you can
That's
get
hard-
a lot-
that's hard to
you
tell
can
A lot
get
of guys like
you can
that,
get
yeah.
talent for him right now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
with the talent Cleveland already has, because
Mhm.
they already got 2 more legitimate All-Stars than Mobley and Garland.
Right.
And Garrett Allen's a good player, and
Yes,
they
he
got
is.
a lot of bench guys.
Right.
Yes, they do.
You could trade for Donovan Mitchell and get a player that's going to fit in to your program and not be the main guy no more.
Mhm.
Because they, like you said, they need to emphasize the big men a little.
Yes.
Mobley
Little
gotta
You got
be
2
more
of them.
I know.
You got
Mobley
2 of
gotta
them.
be more of
You
a
can
star.
throw alley oops crazy, and they legit guys. It's
Yeah.
not like
Right.
And-
it's Robinson. You got 2 legit guys who can score for you.
Exactly.
Right.
Rebound, block
Right.
shots. That's the one thing remember I kept saying in the chat. If Jalen Brunson shares the ball,
Mhm.
as a point guard, you got to know where your players like the ball. I would never give Cat the ball post up. Always give it to him on the outside. Because believe it or not, he could drive to the basket
Right, he
can.
and he could shoot the shot.
Hold on.
Look, you know, but if you want him to post up, that is not his
His
game.
game.
So why would you want him to
I
do
got
that?
you, but if he got somebody small down on
It don't matter.
individual,
It don't matter. Look what he did when
It's
he
not
had to
his
score.
game.
What did he do? What did he do?
It's not. As
It's not his game.
I'm
You
just
know why?
asking.
'Cause
I
he
got
doesn't-
You,
you
look
see
like
how-
he had 2 left feet.
No,
I
but
got
he
it.
only jumped as high.
I
He
got
doesn't
it.
have.
I
He's
got
not a
it.
leaper.
I got it. I
He's
got
not a
it.
leaper.
I got it.
So those guys would be. Did you see? Even on the outside, Holiday was on him. He tried to shoot
Mhm.
that shot in the corner and he blocked it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yo, get out of
But
here with
here,
that."
here goes
You know,
something that
he don't have that. He
Here-
doesn't have that.
here goes something that G. Middleton said. Unfortunately, Cleveland will not get a proven free agent to come there. They can only trade for one, and that's what we were talking
That's
about
what we saying,
trading.
trade.
Right,
That's
you
right.
We were talking
trade.
about
You don't have to
trading.
sign
but-
a free agent.
No.
It,
But
it's
trust
a
me,
grind.
If you get good, you will get guys that come over there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they
They
good.
got a good
Anything else.
team. They got a
Like
good,
anything else, if your
especially
team is
with
good,
right,
you're gonna
especially
get players to
right.
come.
They picked the Hunter too. They got a
Yeah.
good team. You know,
not
are
everybody.
they gonna get? It's
not
just getting
everybody
over
can
that
play
hump.
in Miami, LA, and New
Right.
York.
No.
Right. There's definitely
Atlanta.
There's so many spots.
Right.
So and there's players out there that
Right.
you can get who going
Sure,
take
you
up
can.
other
Why would you
spots.
want to go to Cleveland
So-
and play with that team they got there? I would. With that
Philadelphia.
team.
Because Cleveland is
Yeah, I
like,
would.
you know, like they saying like it's not. A
You talk about the
marketable
city
place.
part?
Right.
Oh,
I
but
mean,
I'm
it's not
looking
a
at the
market.
team. Yeah, but I'm looking at the
Well,
team.
I
We
mean,
can win.
Right.
You can win there
I
with
get
that
it,
team.
And if you win, it
Yeah.
don't matter where you at.
Exactly.
All right.
Shoot, they won in Toronto. You see, you know what I mean?
All right. That was an accident, but they
Uh-huh.
did well.
They-
Golden
So
State
why
was
was it?
slated to win with this talent. They lost 2 stars
Right.
right
Yeah,
then.
they did.
I think they would have won that going away. But
I
shout
think
out
everybody
to
thinks that.
Sade Murdoch. He said, shout out to Dave Wilson and the crew. All right. So we are in the first half out of First Stop to the Next Stop. It's Super Dave along with Coach Kurt,
Yep.
Serge the Sports Star,
Yeah.
Slick the Relic,
The living fossil.
and Todd
For
the
now.
Magnificent.
Yes,
I
yes.
want to say this Sunday at the radio station, Bars and Hoops, we will be celebrating. I want to invite everyone in listening ears, if you are free, from 1 to 9 this Sunday. The address is 110 Jericho Turnpike. Be in the back. 110 Jericho Turnpike. We're having the cookout at Bars and Hoops here from 1 to 9.
Music and food.
Free food, free music, and a little raffle. And come check out all the radio personalities that are available. If you are here, if you are free, come out and, you know, show some love with us. All right. Again, so phone lines is open. The number is 516-206-0711. 516-206-0711. We're talking NBA playoffs here. Who do you like? Let us know. The Knicks in 6, the Knicks in 5, the Knicks in 4. Can we get it right? The Pacers, are they going to come out? OKC or the Timberwolves? We're going to talk about that. Let's go. So here we go.
Let me ask y'all this question because I think this is crazy. Why is the Eastern that conference is starting Wednesday and the West is starting Tuesday.
Exactly.
Who made that schedule?
And they just finished their
Right.
series.
And these
Yeah.
jokers,
Right.
I'm so. I thought that they would be playing tonight.
I thought so too.
I thought it would be tonight,
Right.
at least Tuesday,
Right.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Right.
I don't know.
And the West is playing
after the
before
West.
that, right?
And the West finished their series last.
I don't know.
Don't worry, I'll talk to the script writer because that's a hell of a script they're writing.
Yo, it's ridiculous.
Hold on, Carla. Hold on.
Here you go.
Did you just check that?
No, right.
All right, call back.
So I gotta just give me a second. I gotta bring it up.
He just disconnected.
That's okay. No, I didn't disconnect. I gotta bring it up over here.
Let's talk about while we sitting here. Let's talk about them rowdy Knicks fans out there, MSG.
I'm almost scared for the Knicks to win.
Causing
They're gonna tear the city up.
acting
man.
like they in Philly or something. What's
gonna-
good, yo?
They're gonna tear this.
You
city
gotta go
up.
regulate that.
They
man.
had a watch party, so all them people was out there
Watch-
watching the game.
They was harassing everybody.
They do that. They
beating
do that
guys
almost every
with
city,
garbage,
man. Please,
yeah,
when they
they
win,
beat
man.
the
Stop.
guy
Come on,
with
son.
garbage.
Worse, you know. If they lose in the finals, they
That
really
is
might
worse.
go
That's
crazy.
the worst of the worst.
They
They're
might
gonna be
really
jumping
go
out the
crazy
windows.
there. Yeah.
You know?
I don't understand what
Should
you
be
getting
back
upset
up.
about, man. It ain't like you was
I don't
there.
want my Knicks fans.
Was you there?
My Knicks fans
Wait a
gonna go
minute.
in the
Was you
sucks up.
was you there?
No. I
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
I was. I know not to be.
Oh, you know,
Back
because
on.
We're back.
We're back.
All right.
I know not to be there. Kid.
very good, man.
I'm not going to be there.
Very good.
The subway gonna be a mob too.
Don't take the subway
Oh,
there.
you
Yeah,
be
definitely.
crazy.
I'm
I'm
definitely
not
not
want
taking
no
the
parts
subway.
of being over there.
Yeah,
Well, we grown enough to know not to
yeah. I'm
not to
watching
be
it from my TV set.
needed.
I pipe, might turn it how to
Because
do
I
it.
don't even
If you-
answer
if
y'all
you-
when
if you
the
do
game
go-
is over, man.
I know.
I don't answer nobody. The
I
game
said-
is on.
I
I'm
said, if you
quiet.
want to talk to Kirk, you better talk to him now. Because when the game come on, he ain't
He be
answering no
silent,
phone.
boy. He
Yeah,
be
I'm
silent.
And now you see how I felt
You
when the
can't-
Steelers
you
was
can't-
playing.
you
Like, I
can't-
ain't listening
You
to
can't
y'all.
you can't watch and text at the same
Nah,
time, bro.
man.
Nope.
I feel
Yeah.
I'm gonna mess it up,
Yeah.
man.
I'm the same
Here
way.
we go.
I'm not listening to nobody while I'm watching the Steelers game.
All right, and talk to
Where
us.
Momo at?
What's up?
Listen, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the dark skinned brother up in there.
My man.
What dark skin brother, man?
My man.
There's some brown skin brothers.
Show your arms.
I would,
There's some brown skin brothers.
David's crazy.
you know what I'm saying? You know, there's only one dark skinned brother up in there. Some of y'all a little on the lighter side and the pecan side, but you know who he is. What's going on, my brother?
How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good,
I
brother.
need
I'm
some
good,
water.
man.
I need water.
You know what I'm saying? Listen. We spoke about this, Kirk. I'm willing to bet you another. I'm willing to bet you another 2 cases of water. I'm willing to bet you another 2 cases of water if the Knicks lose.
Oh,
Because
man.
if it takes me to pay out, if it gotta take me to pay out 14 gallons of water for the Knicks to win the championship, so be it.
You ain't mad. You ain't mad.
Oh,
I will drown you in water. Matter of fact, I'll pay your water bill for next month.
oh, shit.
You can leave the force and running when you like, man.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Not in a million years would I have thought this would have unfolded for the Knicks to beat Boston the way in the fashion that they did. And I get what y'all saying that Boston did give those games away, but the Knicks did win those games. They didn't close. They didn't lay down.
Mm-hmm.
They fought.
True.
So yes, Boston did blow those games, but the Knicks stayed punching. It was just like, keep fighting until something happened, and they did it. Boston went out and did it again twice, and won. And I was like, yo, you can't be that stupid. If you gonna go out there and do it again, knowing that these dudes could buckle down on you in the fourth quarter and fight you.
Yeah.
So I give them that. Now jump ship. Indiana versus the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks is going to have a real big scrapping problem with Indiana. Indiana and the Knicks, they fought last year, and Indiana beat them. And how many games did it take them to beat them in a depleted Knicks squad?
Seven, man.
Yes.
Exactly. On a depleted
it went
Knicks
7?
squad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it went 6. Okay. Yeah. Nah, Knicks
So
got
how
to
many
get them.
games it took for them to throw hands with the Knicks? It ain't like we all know, Indiana got a squad, but sometimes, and we all know, they don't show up. They don't show up when they're supposed to show up, and you might get 1 or 2 plays out of there. So right now, I'm liking the odds that the Knicks got. They're going to throw hands with them, and I think the Knicks going to beat them either in 6 games. And if the Knicks take the first game, 2 games in the Garden,
They need
it's
both
going to
of
be a
them.
quicker series than that. They're going to throw hands with them.
Yeah.
Now, Cleveland, I'm going to go with my brother-in-law, Kevin. Why trade him? Why? I don't see the reason why when they had last year we all saw what Cleveland did, and then this year when Garland and all the rest of them was healthy, they had an outstanding season. They shocked me because I was waiting for them to fall and start losing, but they didn't. They closed out the whole everything.
Hold up, Ant. But what we were saying now, it doesn't necessarily have to be true. But what he was saying was that it seemed like this particular individual can't win the big game. So if anything comes to question, it would be maybe this individual getting traded for him to get a fresh start somewhere else and for Cleveland to have a scrapping chance. If the opportunity is correct, it doesn't necessarily mean
Didn't he
that it's going to
20
happen.
points in that series?
Damn, man.
But
Who
it's
had-
something that they
who
need to
had-
look at, maybe.
Who had the
Yeah,
better
that
record
team,
this
he
season,
No, he
Cleveland or
shouldn't.
Boston?
I think.
Cleveland had the best record. But again,
Who had the better record this year? I'm asking you a question. Who had
I
the better
just
record?
I answered you, but you did not.
Mhm.
It's not something that we're saying is gonna happen. is something that
I hate it.
you would just have to say,
Me
hey,
neither.
look,
I don't
let's
like it either.
weigh our options. Nobody said it's a slam dunk thing. He was just
Do
saying
you actually
maybe.
think Indiana would have? You actually think Indiana would have beat a healthy Cleveland team?
No, I don't think so.
I don't
Oh,
know.
I
It's
mean,
not
I
to say
think
they
it would've
can't.
been good.
It's not to
They
say they can't.
They
It
did.
would have been different.
They
Yeah.
beat who was in front of them.
Yeah, it's not to
When
say they
Indiana,
couldn't.
when Cleveland was healthy, Cleveland beat the brakes off them dudes.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Player, what you got to understand one thing, Ed. What you see during the regular season doesn't pertain to the
Yeah,
I know
playoffs.
that.
because
It doesn't pertain to the playoffs.
When Indiana played Cleveland in the first game, wasn't Garland out? Wasn't one of their starters out?
Yeah,
One of
he
their
was
main
out.
shooters
Yeah.
Garland was out.
Garland was out.
And Indiana won, right?
Yeah.
Did Indiana
Right,
beat
okay,
them
so
in the regular
When
season?
Indiana lost to Cleveland, wasn't the rest of that squad healthy? When Cleveland got healthy, what did Cleveland do to Indiana?
I mean, they won one game out of the series. They won one.
Right,
It-
and then they went back. With a hurt team again, right?
I won't
Donovan
say they
got
was hurt.
hurt. Gordon
I
got
know
hurt.
they had a 20-something point lead and they gave it up and lost. That I know.
Yeah, but they didn't have a healthy squad. But let me ask you a question: If I let you go in the tiger cage with the tiger and he on drugs and you beat him up, and then I take him off drugs and you go back in there and he maul you, and then when I put him back on drugs, you go back in there and beat him up. Is that a fair assessment that you can beat that tiger?
Let me say this to you. I don't know about that analogy, but I'll say this to you. Injuries is part of the game. You can't
That
make
is
excuses for injuries, bro. Injuries is
That is
next
correct.
man up.
And I agree with
Next man
I
up.
agree with you.
Next
I
man
agree
up.
with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. But we all know injuries play a large part of the game, and we all know the Toronto Raptors would have never won that championship if it wasn't for injuries on the players that they was playing, those teams that they was playing.
Correct.
They wouldn't have beat Golden State. We all know that. So I'm going to give props what props is due with Cleveland because I would have
Okay.
never thought from
So-
last
Go
year's
ahead.
squad
Yo,
that
Green,
they was going to
Hold up, Green.
do what they did this season.
Yo, Green,
Green.
pause for a second. Go ahead.
what was Cleveland's record against Indiana during the regular season?
I don't know. You got the Google record. What do you
Exactly,
see?
1-3. 1-3.
Okay.
So they already had their number.
All right.
Now
so
that
tell
was
them
that was
before.
with a healthy Cleveland team.
not
So
Now let me ask you a question.
Maybe you
Now, let me ask-
underestimating Indiana.
Now let me ask you a question.
Come on.
Y'all all just like what I say. When you get into the playoffs, everybody is 0-0, right? So you're going to have to play with the hand that is dealt to you. So if Cleveland hand was dealt to them and they didn't have their full staff, and Indiana managed to beat them and beat them convincingly, right? Is it to say that Cleveland
Did you fall off?
he dropped out. He's driving.
healthy squad, they would have had a better fight. And then on top of that, I still look at Cleveland's record. I wouldn't question that squad. I would run it back with them. with
No,
a
I get
healthier
it.
squad.
I would run it back.
I would run it back with the healthiest squad, just like the Knicks. I think the Knicks would still be in the same boat if they had that same squad and they ran it back with a healthy squad.
But Ant, what you
Because-
seem not to, we're not saying that's what need to happen. That is just a thought because now in the
I got you,
regular
D.
season they lost to Indiana and they ran into the wrong team and they had injuries.
Okay.
So, I mean, what could they do to improve their team?
Nothing. I can't help my squad when they injured. But if Cleveland would have
I
lost
think coaching
with
did
a
that.
healthy squad
And
with
none of
that
those guys
record,
off the bench. did
then
anything.
maybe I would tweak it. Not my starters, but I would tweak it. I would tweak it. Maybe. It's just like I agree with y'all. Porzingis have seen his last year in Boston. I know for a fact that he ain't coming back.
Mm.
I know for matter of fact, I can guarantee you that Porzingis and maybe Drew Holiday have seen their last days because Drew have clearly showed his age that he can't do it no more. Now who they gonna shop for? Like I tell my brother Matthew, when me and Matt talk, I'm like, we can always say we can trade him, but who's available to be traded? What's out there on that market that can taste better than what I got on my squad?
Well, that's what the GM job is for.
I got you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm still.
Sometimes, and Todd, I agree with you, brother, 100%. I agree with you 100%, bro. I just felt like Cleveland they went in at the wrong time, and as a proud Knicks fan, I would say this much: I hope Jason Tatum gets better.
He will.
Because it took him to go down for the Knicks to get them licks. It took him to go down for the Knicks to get them licks. But it was a damn good fight with them, and I'm looking at the Knicks.
Wait.
Knicks squad, it would be beautiful to see them take over the Pacers.
And let me ask you if I'm hearing right. You saying if Tatum didn't get hurt, the Knicks don't win?
I don't think they was going to win. I don't think they was going to beat them in those 7-game series. No.
Oh my God. Really?
Well,
I don't think they was going to beat
I
them.
think they would have won. I
remember
think they would have won that.
remember
They were
though-
winning that game when he got hurt.
I think
They
they
were
was
winning
going to
that
win
game.
that game. But
That's
I got a Knicks
It was down
team
by what, six?
that will let you down
No,
at
it was down
times
by more than
because even after that
It
game
was down
6,
like 9.
when they went to that, what was that, game 5 when they went to Boston and they got tore out the frame. I don't like the way the referees call that game. 5 fouls on a star player in the third quarter. I think the mob need to come out of that.
I hear you.
And then you turn around when Brown they fouled Brown out in the third quarter. I'm like, what is that?
I think he was fouling people. That's why he
You said
fouled
they
out.
fouled him out, or he let himself. He
Yeah,
fouled
all
out.
right. If we gonna call every little bumping foul on the star player,
You can't be grabbing people's junk, boy. You grabbing somebody's junk. You should get 2 fouls for grabbing somebody's junk.
You know what? That's a little bit of technical. I was you don't do that.
He should have got
I
2
was, that's
fouls for that.
bro. I'd have texted him and threw him out the game like, you can go to the locker room. You horny. Go on back there. You don't leave these boys. Leave these boys alone. You don't do that.
Even his wife had a
that's
problem with that.
right there. And then when you get caught on the string doing it, and they correct you like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's a tech right there. And I'm gonna have to meet you outside on the bus. I'm like, yo, dog, don't do that.
You know?
That's great.
And that's not even the heat. That's not even the heat of the battle. That's just the most stuff.
Wow.
Well,
That's not even the heat of the battle. But you brothers been great, man. Y'all been great.
we appreciate you, man. You coming out Sunday?
Yes, sir, bro. I'm matter of fact, you know what?
Kurt will no longer be thirsty.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Gabe. Ever since you've been having it in the last 2 years, man, and I've been knowing about it. I've been there, bro. I'm down in Georgia right now, but later on tonight, I'm about to burn up the highway. You can call the patrol cars if you want, Mongo, because I know you like to snitch. I will be coming to
Be safe coming back, brother. Be safe.
I want you to make it
yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir. Yo, Todd, it's always good to see you, sir.
You already know.
Listen, brother.
All right.
Listen, bro.
Be
We
safe.
didn't get a chance to talk about that baseball Subway series, but I'm glad the Yankees pulled it off.
They're gonna be a part 2 to
You
it.
can talk about it.
There's
Get
gonna
up
be a
your
part
chest.
2 to it. They got the
Yo,
upper hand on us
I wasn't
like that.
talking to you, Kurt. I owe you too much water.
It's gonna be a part
I owe
2.
you too much water, brother. I owe you too much water, man. Hey, listen, man. You brothers be good, man. And y'all keep doing what y'all doing up
You
there,
too,
bro.
brother,
All
man.
right, my brother.
We'll see you next
Good
week,
talking to
Gabe.
you.
Yeah. Be safe
Sunday,
coming
Sunday.
back, man.
Yes.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right.
All right.
That's great.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese drama. How do we move on from that? Is it overblown?
Yes, overblown.
I mean, she did push.
She did a hard foul.
Yeah,
She got
so
a tech for it, right?
She
Yeah.
walked away.
I don't know why
Yeah.
Angel Reese got a tech for it.
Yeah,
Got a
she
tech.
shouldn't have got a tech. Her and Boston pushed each other,
Yeah.
but I'm just coming up.
Yeah.
And Boston should have got the tech. She shouldn't have got it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't know what was that about. As much about nothing, Yasmin.
Right, exactly.
Next time she comes to the hole, let her have it.
Yo, let me ask you a question.
That's how I'm
Do
looking
y'all
at it.
think she all that?
Who? Angel Reese?
Yeah. I mean, look wise. I mean, she's attractive.
What,
yeah.
look wise, not. She fine.
I don't even look at her like that. She's too young for me.
Good
I'm,
answer.
I'm just
You
saying.
talk about a
Well,
player.
that-
I thought
good
you had a
answer.
Her
player.
game ain't all that. I
She got a
mean,
good game.
she can rebound.
She got a good game. She could do it. She could score too.
You think so?
Yeah, she can. She's better than what she was. She's getting better. She'll get better at the game.
I
She's
hope-
good.
I mean, I hope
She's
she
good
get
at what
better.
she does on the ball.
I know she's a good
She's got no
rebounder.
styles, and that's good. And that's good.
Did
can
she
put up-
overact on
She
the
already got.
call?
Don't she already got rookie records?
Yeah, she got a
For
rebound.
rebounding.
Yeah,
For
she got-
rebounding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she got
I
some
said she a
records
good
already.
rebounder. Yeah.
She good at something.
I never said she wasn't.
Oh,
I said she a good rebounder.
okay. She's not. She's you got like. I always say everybody can't be a star, even though everybody want to
Right.
be. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Mungo was a good rebounder, but he's a scrub. You know, everybody can't be me. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm conflicted with.
I'm delusional.
Hold up, hold
I'm
up. Hold up.
delusional.
Wait.
I'm delusional. But
Marlo,
Let's call her Go Black.
He
Man.
didn't, he didn't play with us. It was me, you, and Coach. Hey, Greg.
You lucky I didn't. But
He
anyway,
wasn't BK.
but
We made
anyway,
sure you was
I think,
working.
I
No,
think
but
Dave
everybody's
didn't,
good.
I think Dave didn't tell you not to come on
I
purpose.
think on purpose. Yeah, I think so too.
I made
Because
sure
he
you
knew
had
me.
work.
'Cause he knew me. It wasn't like he didn't know me. He knew me.
You know what's so funny? I was
All right,
going
Matt,
outside-
talk about it,
outside
Matt.
we
What's
stopped
up?
Working together.
Mm.
Yeah, I got some stuff to get off my chest real quick. First of all, what's going on, family, man? How's everybody up
What
there,
up,
man?
man?
That's number one.
Yeah.
Everybody's in good health, magnificent, coach,
Yes,
superstar,
yes.
relic.
Yeah,
Where my man Greg G at?
In the hallway.
Yeah.
Disrespectful, very disrespectful, superstar. Anyway, all right,
He's on
check
the
this out.
conference call outside. No this.
Listen, I'm definitely gonna voice my opinion on the Caitlin Clark and Reese situation.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I remember last year we had this argument, as they were both rookies, who was the better player. Do y'all remember chiming in? And I was saying Caitlin Clark is far and away the better talent or whatever it is. I was like, for me, I already see that Caitlin Clark she's on my Mount Rushmore.
I
But
don't know about that.
I'm gonna say this:
Mount Rushmore.
Magnificent saying something about Aja. Is Aja Wilson? That's her last name?
Asia Wilson?
Aja Wilson? Yeah, her. She is the truth. I watched that
Yeah,
joke
she
play.
is. She
So,
is.
So, Caitlin Clark is still up there for me. Reese is just a decent ball player. She's not impactful to me as far as that team is concerned. And
Well, the team is
if you
not
look at
good.
the video, she pushed Boston in the back and really to the ground before
Caitlin's situation.
before Caitlin Clark fouled her that hard.
Right.
You know, it was a hard foul. I don't think it deserves a tech, but when she got off the floor, of course, now you got to separate them or whatever. The rivalry is there. It's kind of like a black and white thing going on, but clearly, far and away, Caitlin Clark is a much better player.
She is a
This
better
team,
player than
She
her.
is.
she's going to be a real,
She is a better player than her.
she's a much better player. I remember last year.
All right. Well, we
You
score.
guys
We
are-
keep a score, Matt. That's 1 point for you.
They
Go
don't
ahead.
play the same
Okay, all
position.
right.
They
We're just
don't
gonna get
play
that out
the
the way. I
same
just want to touch
position.
upon that.
We was
real
wrong.
quick.
We was wrong. If you go to recording, if you record
Yeah,
the show,
okay.
She,
Yeah,
ain't-
thank you
she
for
ain't no Mount
Thank you for that.
Rushmore now. Come on now.
that.
She ain't
but
no-
you still
All right,
got 1 point.
There's
Okay?
still some girls in the league that's better than her, man.
I
You
mean,
know,
how
she's
many-
she's a very good player.
How many players just
Oh,
We talking about
who we're
the
talking
league
about?
now
Coach, who you
or the
talking about?
history?
Is a very good player.
Caitlin
So
Clark.
You say Mount
I'm-
Rushmore,
I'm-
you're talking history.
Right, in
Uh-uh.
history,
And she's
she's
not
up
there
there.
yet.
Not no
Right.
Mount Rushmore. No, hell no.
No. She's not there as far as history is concerned, but she can't get there on the trajectory that she is. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
Well, we'll see about
She
that.
can't
You know, she got to.
Yeah, we'll
gotta
see. Of
clear
course,
to go.
she got a lot to do. She got a lot to do. I mean, the girl is super talented. You know, there's no question about that. All right, off that subject and on to my Knicks real quick. I want to touch upon this. Boston fans cannot say that because of Tatum not being there,
They was beating them,
that this is just my opinion, that it's skewed that the Knicks beat them in this series. In my opinion, the Knicks would have beat them
Yo, he gets
in the
stopped.
7th game with Tatum there because of what they did in Game 5.
I don't know that.
You know, I mean, yeah, well, that's just my opinion. Also, here's my opinion on the trade real quick, because there's a lot of people down here, elsewhere, that don't like the trade, and I respect the fact that you don't like the trade. Towns wasn't here to win us a championship, in my opinion. That's Brunson's team. When Brunson came here, I think the disconnect between Brunson and Randall wanted to hold on to the team. That immediately changed when Brunson impacted the Knicks the way he did. I don't think Randall embraced it, and I think that's why they had,
All right,
couldn't
man.
play
We're
well
taking the
together.
point
So-
back. Let me stop you for a second. So Randall was going to be a free agent and whatnot, and they couldn't come to terms on the money aspect. So, I mean, on whose team it is, it's still, when I last checked, it still belonged to James Dolan, right? So, it's just one of them things where I guess they was trying to check on how it was going to go.
I'm gonna take your back. I'm gonna take your back though a little bit, Matt. Matt, I got your back.
Let me correct the superstar real quick.
Randall.
When Randall goes to Minnesota, yes, there is the owner of the team,
He did.
but Randall is going to somewhere where the face of the team is Edwards.
He knows
The
that.
face of the Knicks is Brunson,
Right.
even when Randall was here. Period. So
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about,
No.
ownership. I'm talking about the team.
No,
You
well,
know?
you talking
So,
about who
what?
team it was. I
He's
told
just
you.
joking
Right.
with you.
I
on-
just told you who
Because-
the team belonged to.
No, but
Because
Randall, you're right.
Randall-
Randall didn't want to play second
Randall-
fiddle to him.
Played selfishly, in my opinion. He played selfishly. He played
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the ball goes to him, and it's like a black hole. That's just my opinion.
Right.
So
I got you.
Towns is not here to win us a championship. Brunson has that responsibility. If Towns is the player that we need from him, if he can drop 25 points, 10, 15 rebounds, and be effective in the middle. We don't expect him to be a defensive player. We got Robinson for that. That's the reason why the Knicks are in position to at least go to the finals. That's my opinion.
All right,
So-
hold on.
So all in all, the jury's still out, but
We still
it's
taking
an
the
equal
point.
trade
All
as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, hey,
So,
You got a
okay.
lot of room
All right.
for your parade
Here's your
down there.
rebuttal. Here's your rebuttal.
here it is. Julius Randle has a player option this coming year, player option for $30 million. The year after, he's an unrestricted free agent. So, probably now, Cat is making much more money,
60 million.
right, than what Randle is making. 20 million more.
Right.
You know, so your contract thing, I understand they knew his contract thing was coming up and he wanted to get paid. But I do agree with you as far as control of who's the man on the team and whatnot. They probably was bumping heads, but they had been to a couple of playoffs with Randall. It didn't work. It didn't work well for him.
And that's also my point. Yeah.
Right. It didn't.
He was
work
here
well.
already and had his chances.
And then last year he was hurt.
Your point is still taken away, right? Because he got hurt January 27th last year.
Right.
So he wasn't even in the playoffs.
Yeah. So
right. And so, and the year before, he was coming off a little injury. So
right.
those might have been things that might have factored into him getting traded off.
And I think they looked into that.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that they didn't
Keeping your
re-sign
point.
Hardestein, so they didn't really have a center because Robinson was hurt at the beginning of the year.
Exactly right.
So they
Exactly
traded
right.
for a big man. They got the
They
big
had to
man,
do that. Yeah.
and they drafted
Right.
a big man. And
There
then
you
he
go.
got hurt in the middle of the season too.
There you go.
I still believe he didn't want to play second fiddle to Jalen. I believe
I agree that too.
I believe that.
I agree. Yeah, he didn't want to be. He wanted the respect. If the Knicks were to advance to the finals, he wanted to be the face of that. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because these
he ain't the
athletes
face
have
of
egos.
Minnesota, that's for sure.
And Kobe and Shaq had it. You know, Jordan and Pippen had it. They have egos.
Does
Some team
Randall,
is it.
I mean, it's really water under the bridge, but did Randall bring a different type of physical presence to the Knicks when they was?
He did.
when he was-
Randall does things that Cat can't do, and Cat does things that Randall can't do.
True.
But if you
He's
go
definitely
back
bringing
and
that
you
to
tell the
Minnesota
Knicks,
now.
if you make this trade, you guys are guaranteed to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. They pulling that string, in my opinion.
Well, it worked
Right?
out.
It's working
Right?
out. There you
For
go.
both
You
teams.
It worked
took
out.
the words
Everybody.
out
Yeah.
loud. It's working out for both teams right now.
Exactly.
Randall,
Exactly.
Hardestein,
So
Working
that
out for
Yeah.
both teams.
So while we got you on the line, who you like in the Eastern Conference? Who you like in the Western Conference?
of course, I like the Knicks. I don't care if they win it in 7.5 games. I like the Knicks to win in the East, and I still think it's Oklahoma City's championship to win because they got all the parts to win the championship this year. I think if Oklahoma City loses the chip, it's because they didn't play well,
You
or the
think
Knicks
that-
played that much, or the
don't
Knicks
think
or
that-
Indiana played that much better. That's what I think.
right? You don't think Minnesota? You don't think Minnesota cause a little physical problem for them, like as far as size?
I do. That series could easily be 7 games. It's not. Oklahoma City's not going to 4-0, 5-0. I think that could easily go 6 or 7 games, that series. But I think defense wins championships, and I give the edge to Oklahoma City because of home court advantage and their defense and their ability to put different players out there.
Yeah,
I think Randall's going to have a hard time.
Right, they can go
I think
deep.
the two-headed centers for his game, they're going to be out there to defend him. Hartenstein and the other center, Chet Holmgren, they're going to give him a little bit of a hard time.
Yeah, I do too.
So we'll see. It's going to be. And it starts tomorrow. The Western Conference starts tomorrow. I will be in front of the TV watching that. No question.
Yep.
All right, it's
All
gonna be
right, family.
interesting.
Yo, that's all I wanted to get off my chest, and y'all keep doing your thing. Yo, one more thing before I go.
Uh-uh.
Go ahead, Matt.
Me and my brother Ant Green had a great time. Y'all don't know what y'all missing down here. If I sent y'all videos of what y'all missing down here,
Saw the
y'all better have
video.
me I'm telling you.
We saw you
You'll
with
be
your
on a
little
flight.
Nick chain on. We saw you.
I seen you singing. I seen you trying to.
Yeah. Y'all missed a great weekend. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I'll just leave it
I'll
right
see you
there.
again this summer. Don't worry about it. I'll see you again.
Come on.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be other weekends, man.
Yeah,
Come
we'll
on.
be there.
There gonna be
Will be.
other weekends.
Shout
There will
out
be.
to
There
John
will
Green,
be. There will
Nixon
be.
6, Darren Richardson.
Love you,
Cecil
brother.
Agard.
Love you,
All
brother.
right, all right.
There will be. All right, fam. Y'all stay up, man.
Thank you.
Y'all keep doing your thing out there, all right?
All right,
All right,
peace.
thank you, Matt. Be safe, bro.
You too, man. Appreciate
All
you,
right,
coach.
Matt.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, so
Yeah, I'm crying right now.
not so much that, but all right, Greg.
Glad you could join us, man.
Right,
Nah,
so
it's time. His time is cut.
let's
I ain't see him.
let's
Walking
talk
there,
about it, Greg. Who do you like?
Yeah,
You like
His time is
like
cut.
Minnesota? You like OKC? And you like? All right.
That'd be an interesting series because
Yo,
of the trade.
Let me ask you, cause I'm going off topic. If you wake up late on the job now, do they cut your time or do they tell you to come in and they just give you another job?
Keep coming. That's still good.
Huh?
That's still
the
it.
same. Keep
Yeah.
coming.
Oh, okay.
Depending on what's going on.
Okay.
Right? If they got an ABD,
Yeah.
your time is cut
Okay.
Right.
automatically.
Right.
If they don't ABD and they jump ahead and you
Right.
go 2 behind,
Right.
your time is cut to when you
Make that trip.
Make
Make
that
the
trip.
trip.
Okay.
Right.
For some reason, I just thought that they give you a later job or something.
Nah,
No?
that used to
That's
happen
cool.
a long time ago.
Right.
And it still can happen if the person's late and you got someone to cover.
Excess
Right.
people. Right.
The worst thing you could do
Okay.
is tell me to keep coming and I get there and then you tell me to go home.
Yeah.
after I
Oh,
keep-
yeah. That's
after I
that's a
got
problem.
there. Yeah,
That's a problem.
crazy
I had a
if you do- if you
situation.
do that.
But
If you tell
we
me
ain't gonna
keep
bring that
coming,
chick.
unless
The-
you more than 2 hours late.
Right.
Right, then I
Okay.
get right.
Coming, then you tell me keep coming. You shouldn't be sending me home.
Right.
Right.
If you the one told me I could have stayed where I was at then.
100%.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I'm curious. Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I'd rather take an AWOL than a late night use. Late night use and AWOL is the same shit to me. So if I'm gonna be late night use, I could just stay home
Oh,
and
so-
AWOL.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, why are you even bringing that up?
I was just curious, man. I was just curious.
Somebody told me the
We want you
other
to bring
day-
it up off camera.
Somebody
Yeah,
told
He
me
can't
the
get the
other-
TA out of him. Yo.
You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
no, I was.
Thursday
Did you
can't-
wake up this morning and thought you was late for
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
No, I did not.
Right. You've been
No,
out
I
for 6 years.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Curious,
Get out of the
man.
system.
And here's something funny, sir.
And it couldn't wait till after 6:30.
I've been going a whole year, so why is he asking me that question?
Right, like you still
That's the
know.
other
Like
part
you
of
still
it.
know.
But somebody told
They
me
could have
the other
changed
day,
everything in a year.
I don't work for transit.
Shout out to Adrian
I don't know what's
Adams.
going on,
Adrian
right?
Yo, Dave.
You know,
Yo,
Yeah.
Dave.
Adrian Adams.
Adrian
Dave.
Adams. What's up?
Oh.
New rule. No TA talk.
Right. I'm with you.
We retired. We don't even know what TA is except
John-
for that check at the first of the month.
Right. John Green said I'm
That's all I care
picking
about.
Minnesota
Mine's at the
because
end
I
of the
said at
And
the
I'm
beginning
whatever.
before the number one seed will not make it to the
I
finals.
got direct deposit. I don't know what it says.
Right. Right. It's a new day. Let's
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's-
thank you, Dave.
let's
Give him a clap.
let's
Kurt might want to go back. Oh, it's too
Yeah,
late.
I'm starting to think he missed it.
why you always talking about the Knicks? He was just like this.
Kurt.
He was this. You didn't. He wasn't even. His head was somewhere else.
It was.
Yeah, we
I'm not.
He might be counting that money. He got to know. He might be counting that money,
right.
checking his account.
I got some trivia questions. Y'all want to give him the
let's
trivia?
do it.
Okay. All right.
Long as it's not trivia about TA.
No, none of that. None of that. None of that. I'm just curious.
I don't know
Greg,
all
Greg
160
answered
from
my
a
question.
all
That's it.
three.
Put your finger on the third rail and your other finger in your mouth.
You put your right hand.
All right, all right.
Shake it up.
All right.
Only player to hit 90 home runs and more with the Mets and the Yankees.
Gary
Darryl
Sheffield.
Strawberry.
No.
I knew he was gonna say that, but
Nope.
he wasn't there long enough.
Yeah, he was near hit 90 with the
No.
Yankees.
Yeah.
Robert Ventura.
Who?
Robert Ventura.
Robert
Batman?
Ventura played with the Yankees?
Batman.
Yes, he did.
No,
played
he
with
ain't
both
hit no
teams.
90 home runs.
I'm just saying.
He ain't hit 90 home runs with the Mets.
Okay.
Whatever we talk about.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm
Well,
asking for a lifeline.
Doesn't matter.
What's a clue?
Doesn't matter.
it gotta
No
be.
clues?
There's only one guy.
Dave
There's only
Kingman.
one guy.
No.
Think of an ex-net.
That's a good question. That's a good answer, though. That's a good
Dave
answer.
Kingman never played for the Yankees.
I thought he did.
I thought he did.
I thought he
didn't play
did
for the
too.
He played for Oakland. He didn't play for the Yankees.
I thought
Oh,
he
I
did.
thought he did.
If he did, he didn't hit 90 home runs.
Right.
That's right.
It wasn't him.
I thought he did.
So think of guys that play with the Mets and the Yankees.
That's what I'm.
That's what they doing.
I know that either.
Yogi
I thought
Berra?
Kingman did play with the Yankees though.
90 home runs. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
With both of them.
Dallas
I,
Strawberry.
have
They want the-
I have trust in
They
y'all.
just want the decade.
We should know this answer, right?
Well, y'all know the guy.
They just want the decade.
Gary Sheffield.
No, it's not Gary Sheffield.
Yeah, that's who,
Dallas
that was gonna be
Strawberry?
my
No,
guess.
it's not Dallas Strawberry. He already said Dallas Strawberry.
Ricky Henderson.
That was a good question.
That was
Good
a good
answer, but
answer,
that's
too.
not him either.
Can you give
I
us
thought
the
about him
decade?
too.
Like he said.
2000s.
2000.
It's in the
Not that
2000s.
long ago.
It's in the 2000s.
The Mets and the Yankees.
Where's Green at
Yeah,
when we need
you
him?
got surge stump, so this is serious.
Where's
yo.
John Green at
Crazy.
when
I
we
can't-
need him?
John Green is right there listening.
Okay, if I give you this hint, y'all would know.
Well, give us a hint. Did he play third base?
No, he played the outfield. He
That
played-
ain't no hint.
Yeah, okay. You want the hint?
Yeah.
What's my name? What's my name?
So it's a Kurt. It's a guy named Kurt.
Still don't ring a bell for me now.
Oh, John Green said Dave Kingman played for the Yankees. In
Yeah, I know he did.
1977.
Yeah, I
know he
thought so.
did.
Kurt who? Kurt who?
Curtis.
Granderson.
Oh,
Thank you.
my God.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. I knew y'all catch on sooner. or
Oh,
later.
man.
I remember him, but I ain't think he
Yeah.
hit 90 home runs
Yeah,
with the Mets.
oh yes,
huh?
he did.
I didn't think he hit 90 for the Yankees.
Yeah, he had a couple of 30 years. 30 home run years.
Wow. He's. I almost forgot about him.
You ain't lying.
He ain't. That name never even thought came to
Yeah.
me.
I didn't think
know
y'all
who
would
you
get
talking
it,
about.
man.
Yeah.
All right. 5 teams that never made it to the NBA Finals.
Oh, here we
We
go.
did that already.
Do it. Do it again.
Grizzlies.
5 teams. Grizzlies is one.
I gave my answer. Keep going.
No, that's
They
been to the
made it.
Don't
finals.
do
They
that,
made it.
yo. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, that's never to win
Don't
one.
do that.
Right.
All right.
I forgot.
Oh, never made
But
it.
they never made
Utah.
it. Utah.
No, they made
Yeah,
it.
they
They
went
made it.
against
They made
Jordan.
it.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Pelicans is another one.
Sacramento.
No, they've been to the finals.
As who?
See, that's why he asked these questions again, because we be forgetting.
As who? who do they play?
I'm trying to
Was it Syracuse Nationals?
think.
In Sacramento, they never win.
never
No,
win.
you're right. At
Sacramento.
Sacramento. I'm
They
sorry.
never win in Sacramento.
Right.
They didn't.
So
go.
they not on your list.
No, they're not on my list. They
So
definitely
it's 6
not.
teams now.
They're 16th. Okay.
They ain't
They
never
might have
made
made
it.
it somewhere else.
As somebody
I'm
else.
saying, is that franchise?
another team, right.
The location, though.
So how many teams do we have?
We got 2.
Atlanta
so far.
Hawks.
No, they've been to the finals.
As who?
As the Atlanta Hawks.
When?
They've been there. They've been
No, they haven't.
Yes,
They've
they-
been under somebody else, not as the Atlanta Hawks.
the Hawks been to the finals.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
Timberwolves
back
is
in the
one.
50s.
And they wasn't Atlanta Hawks.
They was
In
they was
St.
the
Louis.
Hawks.
St. Louis.
St. Louis Hawks.
Well, that's not Atlanta.
That's the Hawks though.
He's talking about franchise overall.
right, but the
Two
Hornets.
more.
How many
Two
we
more.
got?
The
How many
Hornets.
we got?
Location.
The Hornets.
The Clippers.
Hornets is another one.
John Green
Clippers
said
is the
that.
last one. There you go.
Okay.
Clippers is the last
We
one.
always forget about the doggone Clippers.
Yeah, everybody forget about
'Cause
it.
every
Okay,
year-
this
every year they think
question.
they're gonna be in the chip.
This
that's
question is
why.
gonna stump y'all. The
Curtis
la-
Granderson.
That's a good one. Okay. You ready?
Yeah,
Come
go
on.
ahead.
Rochester Royals in 1951. That's who was.
The New
Sacramento?
the New Jersey Nets.
Oh, wow.
It's a
Shit.
stupid question.
Okay.
You're only going to throw the
No,
Nets
no,
in there.
The
that's
last
the only answer. That's the
switch
only-
hitter to win MVP in the American League.
Frank.
Guarantee you, y'all will none of y'all gonna get this. The last switch
Rob
hitter,
Peru?
switch hitter.
He ain't switch it.
No, I don't think he was switch.
Frank Robinson.
No,
Last switch hitter.
the last switch hitter to win the American League in
MVP.
MVP in the American League.
Switch hitter. MVP.
Al Oliver.
Nobody's gonna get this.
So,
Throw us a lifeline.
Al Oliver was a left line back.
I know that.
Oh, I know you knew.
Eddie Murray.
I thought that too, but
That's a
it
good answer, Todd.
it's a good answer, but it wasn't.
Oh,
That is a
Right.
damn good
somebody
answer.
after him.
Yeah,
Oh, there's something
No,
over there too.
probably before. Yeah, I think he was before. This guy was before him.
Before Eddie Murray.
Well,
You said the last person to win it, it got to be after him.
he was the last switch hitter.
Noel Franco is watching.
What up, Frank?
Shout out to him.
Because when I looked, I saw the answer and I was like, huh?
Throw us a lifeline, Kurt.
What decade was it?
70s.
Your lifelines.
And I don't think Eddie Murray was an MVP.
No, he might not have been.
He played
He should have been something.
He's so good. He had some good years.
Great
All right,
years.
well,
George Brett.
on, 'cause we definitely- you said we ever-
John Janowitz is watching.
You're not gonna get it.
70s.
Yeah, you're not gonna get it. 70s.
70s. Who was
Oakland.
a great hitter in the
He played for
70s?
Oakland.
Bert Campaneris.
No.
No.
Joe Rudy. Gene
MVP.
Tennis.
MVP. David.
Gene Tennis.
Gene Tennis was not a switch hitter.
Okay, I'm just guessing.
Switch hitter and MVP. Think of it that way.
Dave Henderson.
No.
Reggie Jackson.
Nope.
Just reading enough names.
You wanna
Tell me keep it.
P on Oakland.
Keep
In
it.
the 70s?
in the
Ain't that
70s.
much left.
I'm trying to
Nobody gonna get it, but I might just give you because nobody's gonna get it.
Good.
Fighter Blue. And he was Cy Young the same play.
Fighter Blue.
And he was MVP.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
He was a switch hitter,
Yes, he was.
But
I didn't know he
but he's a pitcher. You never would have guessed.
Pitchers batted during that.
Yeah.
That's why I say you never.
He was a switch
guess.
hitter.
yeah, well,
He was
Never
MVP and Cy Young.
Hold on. So when they did the
I remember
28
that.
they
Damn, we'd have
started
never
the
got
DH
that. I'm
term.
thinking about hitters, yo.
Yeah.
I don't remember the year.
Yeah.
You know the year they
in
started
the
the DH?
73, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's in the 70s.
It's in the
73. I
70s.
think
Ron
Ron
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg was the
Right.
first.
But he was
DH.
MVP and
Wow, that's
Cy
a-
Young.
That's a definitely
Yo,
a
you come
stump.
up
It's a
You
stump.
never-
I saw it. I was
yeah.
like, I'm looking. I was like,
Wow.
what
that-
Where
Yo,
did we coming up with these from?
If I tell
He
you,
look,
if
he
I-
look him up.
yo,
I got
those.
football trivia, but I, you
Right.
know, it's
No, I
right.
get that he look it up, but
Nah, that's incredible, though. That's
Yeah, it
a
is.
hell of a
Nobody would have ever guessed
Never.
that.
No,
But as
Because
a
you're not
switch-
thinking of no
no
pitcher.
picture.
Nothing.
Exactly.
nothing, none of that.
You ain't thinking
But
of no
I was-
pitcher.
I
I was
named-
shocked by
I
it.
named almost the whole team in my head. and I said,
I'm
wait,
going down that line too, and I'm like,
I'm even thinking Billy North, and I
Yeah.
said no, he wasn't an MVP.
Okay, here goes another
But
one.
before we get to the next one,
Mhm.
excuse me.
it wasn't his bat that did it. It was his pitching. that
No, we
did
know
it.
that
Yeah,
they
right,
got him.
But he
as
was a
MVP.
switch hitter.
But he said he was a
Switch
switch
hitter
hitter.
part.
Right.
That's
That's
I
what
never
threw
knew he
everybody
was a
off.
switch
Right.
hitter.
He was a switch hitter. Okay. Do you know the time clocks for each sport? NBA, what's the time shot clock? How many seconds?
24,
24,
WNBA, what's the shot clock?
30.
30,
No, it's 24 also.
Okay. they changed it.
NCAA men's
30,
30. NCAA women,
30,
right? NFL
25,
25 now?
40.
40.
40. MLB pitch clock
20.
15 seconds.
Huh?
Change it.
No, MLB pitch clock with runners on is 18.
Oh,
Is
What?
18. Yes. It's
I thought it
15
was
seconds when
10.
nobody's on base, and it's 18
It should
seconds
be-
with
it
I'm
should
with
be-
you
runners.
there. I could
it
have sworn
should-
it was 20, but
It should
okay,
be, yeah, it
15.
should be the same
Look-
no matter what. No, I hear what
Yeah,
you're
look it
saying.
up.
Why
Yeah,
you
look it up.
changing? Okay.
Okay, here go another one. Why are the Mets colors orange and blue?
The piss surge off.
That's New York colors.
No.
Oh,
That's
that
because
wasn't
it's
it.
because the Dodgers left.
New rule. No TA questions, no blue and orange questions. Jesus Christ.
It's
Isn't
got something
that
to do with the Brooklyn Dodgers
Yeah,
leaving.
probably
It's-
do it.
Brooklyn Dodgers was blue.
And the Giants.
And the Giants was
Giants,
on.
so they
It took a
combined it.
color
So
from
they
each one
combined
of
the
them.
two of them.
They
Right.
combined
It took a color from each
They
one.
took the color
And the
from
Knicks-
Brooklyn.
And the
And
Knicks
the-
took
and
it
the
from
Giants.
them because they didn't
The Giants
know
was
anything
was
original.
black and orange.
Right.
So
And
But
it
those are
doesn't-
New York colors.
Right.
The official colors.
Right.
Orange and blue.
So why did the
Official
Giants
colors
have
of
black
what?
and orange?
That's their official
crazy.
state.
That's
colors.
because they had
Orange
all the
and
time.
blue.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I think so. Let me look at it.
So not
Yeah.
all
I don't
the
know where
teams-
you-
not
I
all
never
the
heard
teams-
that
I know.
one
I don't
color.
know. Yeah.
What he's saying, that's
Google it,
New
I'll
York
get the
colors.
answer.
It is.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's the official.
It is.
Not all the teams. Not all New York
Not
teams.
all New
have
York
that
teams
color.
have
Yeah,
blue
but
and
that-
orange.
yeah.
Like
Official
Albany,
colors
like
of
the
New York.
New York, the capital of New York is
Blue
Albany,
and gold.
and it's
That's
blue
what
and
it's
orange.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
blue and gold.
He's so
Okay.
going,
New
go.
York
they
City is
had-
blue, white, and orange.
They had that.
Okay.
like,
Okay.
So it's New York City.
The
Then.
capital.
Yeah, the state is blue and gold.
Okay, last question. Last
No.
pitcher to throw a no hitter that was on LSD.
LSD.
LSD. yeah.
It's Doc Ellis.
There you go.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
There you go.
You beat me to
I
it.
Very
never
good,
would've
sir.
known that.
That one I knew for
I
sure.
I was gonna call
Yeah,
him
he
Doc
said he was,
Murdoch.
He was
Somebody-
on LSD while he was pitching?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was
That
gonna
was
say
his famous story.
I thought it was what's his name that was on the rock Houston.
J.R.
Astros.
Richards.
That's where I was
That's
gonna
where I was
say.
going.
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
That's
You
good.
would have thought, what's his name?
David.
No, Friedrich, the way he
Oh,
had
Mark
Oh,
DeMarco.
yeah. Yeah, you
thought he was
definitely
also
thought he
that.
was high. Yeah. Talking to the ball and all that
Yeah.
craziness.
Because when I saw the question, the first thing I said
That's
was I thought it was
crazy.
J.R. Richards.
Yeah, that's what came in my head.
Yeah, but I forgot Doc Ellis did get high and shit, man. And somebody else mentioned Doc Gooden too and shit.
But I think he was off of it.
But
by
Doc
then.
Gooden
Pitched
wasn't
for the
on no
Yankees.
LSD. He
Yeah,
was
not
on-
no LSD.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't think he was still doing coke. Well, he might have been. 'cause
Who
he
knows?
was a Yankee,
Yeah.
right. There's no telling because I think he still might.
He might be look like he's
Yeah, he looked like he.
remember him and Whatchcom had that beef.
Yeah.
Him and Strawberry, because
Yeah.
Strawberry was like, look, when they did that
Trying to
thing
help him,
together, yo, you look like you need help. And they was
Yeah,
beefing with
it
each
was,
other.
yeah.
He looked bad in that thing.
I don't
man.
need no help. That's illegal, catfish. No, remember that? I mean, well, you know, I guess
Those was good ones,
reality is that he look like
Yeah,
he's
they
doing
were.
better now. So
good,
you know,
good for him, man.
hope,
I just
hope
feel
the
like,
best for
yo,
somebody.
it's a shame when you look at him and his career.
Mhm.
He could have been probably the best pitcher in history
Mhm.
if he would have kept himself clean. He had the goods from the
He
beginning,
had the goods.
man.
He
And
definitely had
man,
the goods.
just threw it. And Strawberry could have been a great player.
Yep.
He
him
had
too.
Both of
a,
them.
a natural swing, man. Natural,
It was just like it was just so easy swing.
easy
swing. Right.
You know, when he connected, you knew that ball was going.
Mhm.
As soon as you heard that pop, you was like, yo, that's going.
Yep. You're right about that.
You know how they say, I'll tell you what it remind me of. You know how they say every time when Curry shoot, you think it's going in.
Right.
Right.
Every time Strawberry
Hit
did
the
that
ball,
swing
right.
and you heard that hit that ball, you thought it
Mhm.
was going.
Yep.
Well,
every
I
time.
mean, you look at it.
Every time.
I thought Eric Davis had a nice stroke.
He did.
He had power when he got up
Mhm.
there. A-Rod, certain
no
people
question.
they
No question.
just Aaron Judge right now.
Yeah.
If he
He's
If
like
he
that
connect,
now. Aaron
right.
Judge.
Mhm.
It seems like
He
every
like
time
he's
you
going.
Right.
he's swinging, he connect.
That's what
You
you
think that
expected.
ball's
You
going.
think the ball going?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what?
He got an easy
Pete
swing.
Alonso thought his was going yesterday.
oh my goodness.
And he was like
Well, that,
rounding first and like, what the hell?
that throw to home sucked what he did.
Yeah.
That was horrible, bro.
He rushed himself.
That was horrible.
over
Yeah,
to the right.
yeah, that was horrible.
What
He
the
wasn't
hell?
close.
But
That was a game
dude
right
was
there.
taking
Yeah,
off
that was it.
on
That was a game right
contact and whatnot. He should have gathered
Well, let me
himself
ask a question.
and just came straight home.
Because it looked like the catcher gave, like, he didn't even try to go to catch. Even you probably wouldn't have got the guy out,
Right.
but you should at least try to catch the ball.
I
Was
don't
it that
think-
far ahead?
It was that far. It was that
Because it looked like he didn't even
But
try.
actually, I blame the pitcher because the pitcher that they had in, he must have threw 12 straight fastballs. And he wasn't getting the ball over. I'm like, why you just keep throwing fastballs?
Oh,
What the
Ken
hell you
Griffey Jr. also had a sweet.
He had a
Oh,
sweet
please.
swing. Yeah.
That's
Without
what
question.
John Green said.
Without
So,
question.
man.
Griffey had a sweet.
Without question.
But it's funny because
Standing,
I was watching the game and my brother called me and he reminded me that my father always used to say, you gotta make contact. you got to put the ball in play.
Right.
Because we had blown opportunities before that with guys striking out with men on third base. All you got to do is put the ball in play. You never know what's going to happen.
Force them to do it, make a play.
They got to make a play. Right.
You strike
You
it
don't
out.
know.
You wasting at bat. I mean, you just got to make contact. You ain't got to hit the ball.
I saw when you texted, nobody bunts anymore. Nobody. I mean, very few teams do that, man. You know, if you got a team maybe that don't hit for power, they usually
like
do
Serge
that.
said, you got 2 guys on base and no outs.
No, they have 1 out, I think.
I thought Serge said no outs.
But
But
second and third.
But my thing is, you don't move a guy. You don't move the runner over.
No.
I wasn't even watching the game, but common sense, you at least got to move the runner over.
They don't do not too many teams
You know
do
what I'm
that.
saying? You gotta
They
give
waiting
your
for the
team
big
a shot.
hit.
Because if you
That's-
got the guy to third base, maybe the pitcher throws a wild pitch.
Exactly.
Or like what happened with Alonso. You hit it to a guy and he throws the ball away
Right,
instead
right.
of making a good throw.
Right.
But
Anything
you
can
gotta
happen.
make the ball. You gotta put the
Keep
ball,
the ball
in
in
play.
play.
I hate
Everybody
when they
want to
do that.
It's like
John
like,
Green
like
said,
shooting-
blame analytics. I could agree with
It's
that.
like, it's like
It is.
it's like shooting threes. Everything got to be a home run.
That's right.
Everything
Right.
got to be a home
That's
run.
right.
Everything got to be a home run.
It's
Well,
crazy.
well, what about football? Do they just go for the ball?
Analytics.
They don't want to run the ball.
Go for the ball.
They throw the ball more.
They throw the ball
everything
more than
that-
anything.
That's why they were
It's
devaluing the
less,
running back.
it's less
Exactly.
running teams. I'll say
But then when you got to kill a
Normal.
clock, you need a running back
need
to
a
kill
running
that clock.
back.
But if you think
Right.
you're gonna throw the ball, and
Right.
they drop it, the time stop, the clock stop. Then
It
what?
stopped. Right.
You got to run that ball.
there's less running
You
teams
know.
than it used to be.
Yep.
That's the problem.
It changes on every sport, man. You know, how can we
That's
score
all.
more runs? How can we score more points? How can we-
Analytics.
I can't stand that.
And they
Where
go
was-
for it. And it's always the guys that ain't played the game that
And it all-
that decide this
it
stuff.
all
and stuff.
started
Because
with
they throw stuff in the
Oakland.
computer.
Right.
They just throwing stuff in the computer, and whatever the computer spits out. Well, this is what you're supposed to do in this situation.
But you know, it all started with the Oakland A's with the Moneyball thing because
Right.
they wouldn't
Yeah.
pay nobody, but they
Right.
was figuring out that if you get guys to get on base with walks and you hit home runs, that you could still win, and they won that way.
Yeah.
And they wasn't paying nobody, so
Right.
all the rest of
Right.
the team said, "Well, maybe we need to follow
Do
that
what they do.
program." And then
And
other sports started looking into analytics, and before
Right.
you know it, the whole sport.
So that
What's
was
the name of that movie?
analytic thing.
Moneyball.
Moneyball.
So that was like in the 90s.
You talking about with Mark McGuire and,
No, before them.
Before them.
Before them.
Before them,
They
when
didn't
they
have
didn't have
Catfish
that kind
Hunter
of
in there.
power.
They didn't have those
That
type
was
of
in the
guys.
70s.
No, it was after them. It was after them.
after the 70s?
After them.
Yeah, it was after Mark
was
McGuire
after
and
Oh, after the
Canseco.
90s.
Because
Yeah.
they lost all their
They
stars.
lost a lot of games.
And they ended up using a whole bunch of guys that
Jose
were
Canseco,
efficient at
Mark
getting on base.
Mhm.
Right.
And
right,
they started winning games like that. And people said, well, maybe we don't need to do this. Or
Shout out to
It would
Dave
save a whole lot of
Pankey.
money.
He said the Knicks in the NBA Finals.
Who said that?
Dave Pankey.
Of course, thank you.
All right. Shout out to him.
They gotta
Pankey.
get there.
Mm.
They better. You beat Boston. That's who you wanted, the Pacers. You didn't want Cleveland. You wanted the Pacers.
We want to
Well,
get there. It don't matter
it's
who
just
we play.
mind-boggling that the 1 and 2 seeds are out.
All of them. except
Everybody thought
Except for
it
Oakland.
was going to be either Boston or Cleveland, and none of them is in it.
Mhm.
who
None
was
of
number
them.
2 in the West?
They still playing, aren't they?
Houston.
No.
Yes,
right.
it was
They
Houston.
wind up.
It was Houston.
Yeah, they
Right.
beat out LA. Houston,
Yeah.
It was LA for the
Right,
longest,
right.
and then
It
Houston
was
beat them
Houston.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
Lakers was number what?
Three.
Three.
Yeah, they
Three.
dropped
Yeah,
the three,
Lakers was
but they
three.
was the second for a while.
Right. Mm-hmm. We got one seed left.
It did. I tell you, it's
One
funny
more seed
because
left.
it did look like when you looked at Joker, man, it looked like he was in a prize fight. He looked beat up. He looked beat up. They was weighing him
That's the
down.
coach fault. You don't
No,
play- You gotta put.
Come
no,
on.
we was talking about
What up,
that.
Ty?
Yeah.
All
We
right,
was
what
talking
up,
about
Ty?
that. You got
good.
homeboy on the bench.
What's
You could
good?
use it for 10 minutes easy. You know what I'm saying? And they
Uh-huh.
and they didn't do it at all. And it's not like he's a scrub that you can't give him 10 minutes. Yeah. It's not like he's a scrub. You can't give him 10 minutes. You should be able to give him 10 minutes a game. I don't know why you
Yeah,
got
I
don't understand why
that
you got
either,
guys
man.
you got guys that you paying and you're not using them. So they sit on the bench to collect a free paycheck.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
these guys,
And these
are-
guys could play.
right.
Yeah.
So what is that like? Nah, like no matter under any circumstance, unless it's a blowout
You can't
that
play.
you put them guys in the game. That's the only way they get in the game. I don't get that.
I don't get that.
I
Either.
really don't get
And
that.
he's a vet, so I mean, come on. I can understand a rookie, but he's a vet,
He played a little bit in one game. They used him and he played and he did well.
right?
So
So
I don't get it. And you see your man out there getting beat up.
Yeah.
Put them both in there together. You know,
Yeah.
so they playing their two bigs together. Put them in there together.
I don't stand it either.
Yeah.
Joker can stay on the outside, right?
Yeah. You think he won't be throwing him alley oops?
So
You
Of
know?
course he will. Right.
So it's 6:00. We just got Tiny from the Red Cup Cafe just joined us.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to D Nice, D Gores on the check-in. So we
What up,
telling
D?
everybody about the festivity that's gonna happen here on Sunday. Would you like to add anything to the mix? You can come over here.
You see, yo, you get me walking
Yeah,
walking
get you
around.
warmed up, you know.
Okay, do your thing, man.
Go, no doubt. All right. Well, anyway, so again, so it's just an open, we're gonna have it where all the shows here we get together and we have thank you type of cookout situation for the holiday. And we want everybody to come out, thank all our supporters, come out, grab a bite, rub elbows with some of the celebrities that are sitting amongst me. All right.
You could meet the living fossil.
All right. The stars of the show.
The living fossil. We're gonna put him on the mic this time and whatnot.
Right.
We're gonna put him on
I
the
have
mic.
some stuff set up if
That's
the
cool.
opportunity happens.
It
Well,
will. We gonna make sure.
we
gonna make sure.
we'll make a pitch and a plea for that to happen.
Yeah, we're gonna put you on the spot this time.
Okay.
Right. So you can turn up, turn out.
I think you could be better than them guys that we heard last year.
I seen the white guy freestyling
Oh, you did?
when I was leaving.
Oh, okay.
Remember the dude was leaving?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know what happened after that.
Shout out to Mike
He did a
Pender
couple of
watching on the
songs.
check-in.
It wasn't nobody else out
There was
there?
another guy there.
Oh, okay.
There was
All
another guy.
All right.
Hey, man. Okay. We're gonna put you on the spot, man.
All right. We'll
Have,
see
you,
how it
have
goes.
your stuff ready, man.
I guess I gotta remember my stuff now.
Yeah, remember your lines.
I
Uh-oh.
don't think you forgot. So.
Yeah, he didn't forget.
I forgot some stuff.
Why you think he a living fossil? Of course he forgot.
Exactly. My memory ain't all there.
You still rapping your sleep. Stop playing.
But he'll get it. It'll come to him before it's over with.
So, Mr. GM, did you decide who y'all gonna pick in the 8th pick? Are you gonna
Are we
trade
talking
it?
football? Are we talking basketball?
We just talking. This is a sports show.
I don't know
We talking.
I don't know what Serge want. I still want a point guard. That's it. I want a point guard, and I know we can get a starter at the 8th pick.
A point guard?
Gilchrist is a starter, and he's 11th pick. Brunson's a starter. Why we can't find a starter?
We didn't say you can't find one.
Right.
I'm just
So
saying.
it's about them researching correctly. It still come down to the player, obviously. But we can get a start at the 8th
Sure you
pick.
can.
Now, as your assistant GM, because you're the GM, and I'm just going to have the chain and seat. I will suggest that they do this.
Uh-huh.
To me, they need to go ahead and pick that kid from Duke, the big guy, not
Queen.
No.
Oh, not Queen.
The African kid.
Right.
Take him, turn around,
John Ross watching.
take Claxton
Trade.
in either Cam or Cam, whichever one, and ask the Lakers would they be willing to give up Austin Reeves for Claxton and either Cam.
They need
So you like Austin Reeves?
I would like him on the if we pick the big guy,
right,
and we got everything else that we got. Yes, I would like Austin Reeves to be part of the team. I wouldn't have a problem.
The Lakers
with that.
would get their big man that they
And
need.
the Lakers would relieve part of the problem with too many ball handlers.
Right.
Because they already got LeBron and Luka.
True.
They don't need Reeves. Reeves is like the third leg on that team. But they need a big man, and Claxton would answer that. And they need shooters, and either Johnson or
they be leaning.
What's the scam?
Yeah, John Ross, the Knicks going all the way.
He said scam.
You know they be leaning towards Reeves when they closing games sometimes.
Yeah.
And LeBron's supposed to be leaving next year, I believe.
You don't think he's playing next year?
After next year.
No, we're talking about next year.
Right.
So what else are you getting besides just Austin Reeves?
That's all I need.
That's all you gonna get?
That's all. What, they don't have no draft choices. I'm not getting no draft choice. I get a starting point guard for my team. I got the big man in the middle. We already got Claxton. We got Sharp, and we got Clowney. So we wouldn't be losing anything by trading Claxton.
Ready?
And I think Cam Johnson or Thomas would really help the Lakers too, because the Lakers need shooters.
You don't think you're giving up too much doing that?
Nah.
For really? Because Austin Reeves got another year on his contract, and then he's gonna be a free agent too.
Yeah. Well, they end up having to pay.
All right.
I don't think.
All right. So
I like
Tiny,
Claxton.
you up?
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's a
mic
tradable
is on?
piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you up? All right. So Tiny, tell us about your show and tell us, what's going on Sunday on your part.
I got 2 shows. So every Tuesday is Unorganized Behavior. That's me, of course, playing what I feel like playing.
Okay.
And talking what I feel like talking. But the Red Cup Affair is Sundays, right? The Red Cup Affair, the Tisha Adelot's Red Cup Affair is all about slow jam.
Oh, okay.
It's all about the slow jams that you forgot. It's all about the good music. Great, good music.
What time is that? What time is that?
9 to 11.
No, okay.
9 to 11. Now, the other thing we have, right? Because everybody be thinking they know everybody. So what it is, we have a game on there. So last night it was 11 girls, and they will pick the songs.
Right.
And the guys that's in the room got to guess which girl picked the song.
Really?
And everybody have a good time. And then next week, the guys gonna pick the song, and the ladies got to figure out who picked which song.
Oh, okay.
Right. And it's so much fun. It's
Right.
so much good and everything like that. So, yeah, if y'all not doing, you need to check it out on Sunday.
Well, hold up. We're gonna be here on Sunday. So is it gonna be? It's gonna be live, or are we gonna do it here Sunday? Is it going down Sunday?
Well, that's in discussion right now because they feel that this barbecue is going to be so big.
Right.
They don't want anybody having any shows on Sundays.
Gotcha.
So I'm going with that and everything like that because we want to deal with making sure everybody have a good time.
Right.
And you know how we do. Y'all know how y'all do.
We definitely.
Y'all come over there with y'all things that y'all bring to the barbecue. Everybody got to jump on. So it should be nice. And I heard it's going to be a good weekend.
All right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a
nice.
good
Yeah,
weekend.
we need one. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a
Well,
good
it's supposed to
weekend.
rain these next couple
No,
of
don't
days.
talk about
We're
rain.
talking about
man.
the
I'm talking
weekend.
about
We're talking about
to
the
get
weekend.
that out the
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
to become a nice sunny day on
Okay.
Sunday.
All right.
Yeah, it's
So-
supposed
Don't
to
give
be
us
a
no
good
bad aura, man.
Nah, ain't no battle.
Okay.
I don't want
Alright.
that to happen. I
So
want some burgers and fries.
Fries.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Or just
fries.
the burgers.
Yeah. Unless you get
All right,
bringing a
that's
deep
great.
fryer. So this-
So
what was we
John Green. So all right,
What
John
was
Green,
he-
we're gonna
oh, yeah,
shout
so
you
you-
out. Shout out to you.
So hold up, where we getting the point guard from? You talking about the draft?
No, Reeves would
Reeves would be the point guard.
We's a shooting guard.
He can play
He
point.
can play the point.
See,
He's a better, bigger point guard than what we got right now.
yeah, but I don't.
He's
see,
a versatile guard.
Yeah, he's a two-way guard.
He's a
Yeah, he's a
versatile.
combo guard.
He's
want a
the
straight point
GM over
Straight
there,
point
and
guard.
y'all are trying to force feed him to do something he don't want
I
to
want
do.
a straight point guard.
Another long
true
season.
point guard.
Okay.
See, my thing is,
I don't want a point guard /shoot guard.
don't help the
They
Lakers
trying to-
at all, man.
Right. They trying to make Cam Thomas a /shooting guard point guard.
No, he's not that.
Right, exactly.
not that,
I want a
yeah.
true point guard, true shooting guard. That's
Right.
it.
Do they really still have those?
Yeah, they
Yes.
Oh,
Halliburton's
with straight
a
shooting
point
guard? That's what Cam Thomas.
He
That's
make
what
big
Cam
shots
Thomas.
too, though.
That's what Cam
Right.
Thomas is.
You want the point guard?
He's
to
a
make
shooting
big
guard.
shots.
No, I said a point guard.
Yeah, they still have those.
Bradley just-
That's
Yeah.
what. That's what.
No, but you know you want them to
Halliburton
shoot
is.
too, but you don't want them to be who shot dominant point guard.
I don't
Who's a
know
shot
about.
dominant point guard?
almost every point guard is a
Yeah,
shot
nah,
dominant.
I don't know about what's going on in today's game, man. It seems like everybody's a shooting guard.
Right. It is.
Right, from the
even
center,
the,
to
right,
even
forward.
the power forward.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
sort of
everybody's a
positionless
Where they
shooting
play
basketball.
guard.
today, it's like, yo, you shot.
Nope.
We come back down. Now it's my turn to
Right,
shoot.
right.
You
That's
come
it.
back down. Now it's my turn to shoot.
Halliburton,
It's
I
like-
would say, is a point guard.
Right.
Yeah.
Positionless
Yeah.
basketball.
It's
Right.
crazy. It's crazy.
But there is no such thing as that.
What
Yeah.
positionless basketball?
Correct.
No, I know, but this is how they
No,
play. Everybody spread out.
Because now the Lakers talking about they don't have a big man. I thought it was positionless.
True.
Right,
Everybody
right.
kept
Well-
saying it.
well,
No, it's good.
well-
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you good.
When I say positionless, I'm
Yeah.
talking about you want the center out there shooting threes. Like normally we wasn't even doing that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Who was the first three big man? It was Bill Laimbeer to me.
Yeah, he was.
That was it.
And look at Golden State. They don't have size. That
never
was
did,
something
man.
that
They
was.
Well, that's something they said
That's-
they're gonna get. They need to
Right.
get.
I think Steve Kerr was just stubborn, and he's not on the
No, they
chopping
shot
block.
so well.
That they didn't have to do that.
Yeah, now once Curry leave, trust me, they back in the they back
They
in
had
the
him. They was talking about. I seen something this week. They was saying that he destroyed that kid Weissman.
Yes, I saw
You
that.
seen that, right? They
Yeah.
said he destroyed him because he was a player.
No,
But-
overseas. Well, I thought he was in. He got hurt again.
Weissman?
Yes.
Before that, they said he got
Overseas or when he was here?
Here.
No, but no, they got rid of him though. They don't.
No,
I
he
don't
was
think-
on Detroit.
He's gone.
He left Detroit. He was on another team, and then
there's a few players.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, he's overseas.
But they said he was already damaged good. That Steve Kerr damaged him.
Well, he
That's what they
didn't,
were saying,
he didn't hardly
damaged.
play him. Remember, he got hurt.
Yeah.
in the middle of the season.
Yeah, he missed like half the season.
Because they was talking about him coming out of school that he was a can't miss, man.
Yeah. He was with Penny. wasn't he,
Memphis,
with
yeah.
Penny? He went to Memphis.
Yeah.
Is always
He's
can't
only
miss.
24.
Anthony Bennett was a can't miss.
Oh.
Yeah, he was
Kwame
horrible.
Brown was a can't miss.
Kwame.
These guys that come out that everybody's. That's why I'll be honest with you. I'm not so sure about Cooper Flag, but hey, that's just me.
He got skills. He got skills.
Give me the first pick. I'll be happy with him.
What I like
Ace,
about him, he does
BJ.
more than one thing. He has an all-around game. He's just not known for one thing.
For what team?
That's
Coming out of Duke.
Well, he's coming out of Duke.
That's-
He's going
that's
to be
true, but is he
slated
gonna-
to be the
is he
number one
gonna
pick.
excel enough at all the things that he do?
Sheila
Be a
Hunter
different-
is
be a
watching.
star
Shout out to
star.
her.
Right.
Is he gonna be a Larry Bird?
I see that, Mousy. I see that.
See, that's the problem
Oh,
with
it
that.
took you-
Serge.
it
We
took you
always
that
try
long
to
to
compare.
see
Like
it?
we still looking for that next Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Those guys, there's only one. There's only one of those guys.
Right.
You're not
And,
gonna
and
get
they're
no more
not
of those
working
guys.
on their game to even to emulate them.
Yeah, they don't. Them guys are not like that.
Like Kobe's the only one.
Like I'm gonna tell you something. And I talk about this a lot for me, and people underestimate. Like they don't give Bird his props. Bird skill wise, Bird didn't play with his skill. Bird played with his head.
Right.
That guy couldn't jump. He couldn't run. He could shoot,
Sure.
but
Hey, yo.
he couldn't run. He couldn't jump. He wasn't fast. He wasn't quick. But he beat you with this. And that's a lot of things these guys don't play. You watch this game today, them guys don't use. They think everything's about skill. They don't use their head. You know what I'm saying? Because just like
Basketball IQ.
you watch these guys play, and the first thing they do on defense, everybody's grabbing. You play basketball, you play defense with your feet, not with your hands,
I think
unless you're
what-
blocking a shot.
I think Larry was
You
one of
know.
the greatest shooters.
Huh?
I
He's
think
a great.
was-
Larry was a great player. Period. Period.
He had good.
But
vision.
he's beating you with his head.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He could tell you what he's gonna do, and you can't stop him. Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
You know.
James Wyman was with the Indiana Pacers, and they traded him to Toronto. Toronto waived him February of this year.
And then he went over.
So he never played with Toronto.
He's 24. He's not even. You know.
No, he's still young.
He's young. He's
Yeah.
still young.
But he could be damaged good. Your head get messed
Right.
up, then what?
Right.
You know, you had a
And
lot
look,
of guys
I was just about to say
like
that.
Serge
What
just
you gonna
said
say?
who came in, who's supposed to be so and so, and then wind up having great careers overseas.
Yeah.
They had great careers.
Mhm.
They just couldn't make it here.
What's
Right.
the other guy? There was another
You know.
guy that came out of Duke that was supposed to be pretty good, and he wasn't that. He didn't really turn out that well.
Leo
How long ago?
Okafor.
Recently.
Oh.
Bagley, Marvin Bagley.
Oh yeah, he's with somebody though.
Yeah, he's with
still in the
somebody
league.
else. He's
Yeah.
still in the league.
He's
Atlanta?
with
Ain't
No.
Ain't he with Sacramento?
yes.
He was.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if he's.
No,
still
he's
there.
not with them. Where I seen him at? Memphis. I think Memphis.
Might have been on the
Might have
Grizzlies.
Yeah, I think he's with Memphis now. But he on the bench.
Not the Pistons.
Oh, with the
It's
Pistons.
not Detroit.
I know I seen him this year. Well, he was coming. He was on the bench. I know that.
Yeah, historically, stars at Duke don't have great
Grizzlies.
pro careers.
Grizzlies, yeah, I thought so,
right now?
yeah.
Dale Prentice is watching. Shout
And he
out
was
to
supposed to be a
him.
can't miss too. He
Mhm.
had crazy
Right.
skill.
Mm.
But sometimes that skill don't turn out, man.
Yeah, it don't always work out the way you think it is.
You know.
All right, so did I cover everybody starting with the Western Conference with you guys?
No, we
So
didn't.
let's-
I mean,
Go
from
through
last
Thunder.
time
Just put
or
Thunder
right
first.
now.
Now, for now.
Well, I always said OKC. I ain't changed.
Thunder.
Serge,
Yeah, I'll go with OKC.
shout out to my cousin Lewis Batts. Coach Kirk,
You know where I'm going.
Timberwolves.
No, you on the West Side.
Oh, the West Side. I'm picking Minnesota.
Yeah, he went the worst team. as
Don't
well.
surprise. He picks Minnesota Vikings. He picked Minnesota
Really?
Timberwolves. He's
Wow.
always picking
You ain't never heard me
Minnesota.
pick the
Minnesota
Vikings.
You always
Never-
pick the Vikings.
I ain't
Yeah.
never picked the Vikings in my life.
I'm sorry, Coach.
You always
I'm
pick
sorry, Coach.
Minnesota.
I remember you and
Yeah,
Kirk
I ain't
Cousins.
never picked the
Yeah,
Vikings.
he always pick Minnesota.
In the playoffs, you heard me pick the
I ain't
Vikings.
say like when we be
No.
going around and deep picking teams and
Minnesota
whoever the
was
Vikings
the
play,
team.
we picking other. He goes,
Kirk
I'm
Cousins
picking the
what you
Vikings.
do.
I'm saying he always go the other way.
As long as Kirk Cousins was throwing to what's his name, the wide receiver, which he did.
He's gone.
As just who? Wide
John
receivers,
Green
Scott?
said T Wolves is 6. What about you, Tiny? Who you like?
I want Minnesota to win because I don't want the Knicks to see the OKC.
See, that's what I just said. You want the worst team to get there.
That's not what I said, but then you said
that do make sense.
Yeah.
Well, I like the drama in that. If both of those teams go because of the trade,
Right.
the drama in that would be good. You know,
that would be a good matchup.
Yeah.
Well, you can say that with both teams.
Yeah,
Hardenstein with and then Randall and DiVincenzo, right? And Indiana.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because
Knicks got all types.
like what Serge was saying, we talk about as far as running it back.
Right.
That's what everybody. I remember not John Green, but Anthony Green used to say the Knicks should have stayed back and ran it back with that same team, with everybody healthy, and see what happens one more time.
Right.
You know.
And I honestly, I did say
saying
that. I said, "Yo, y'all peaked already."
But you're not a Knicks fan, so you
No,
know.
but I'm just
you
saying,
might have said that with a side eye and shit.
I said that. No, I said that because of last year.
Right.
Once y'all broke the team up, I was like, "Yo, y'all peaked already. Y'all done broke the team up. I don't think y'all making it fast." You know,
well, remember they had seen Randall in a couple of playoffs already before. So you know,
no, he didn't show up.
He didn't show up in Atlanta.
He was either injured or he didn't show up.
Right. He was
they let Atlanta
back
them.
I'm telling you, it's something different about this Knicks team right now that's going on.
It is.
Right? They lost to all season long. They was losing to the big teams that they were supposed to be losing to, and they're not losing to these teams now.
They played 500 ball after the All-Star break.
Right. And now I got Knicks going all the way. I just don't want them to see OKC. They're going all the way, man. Seriously.
I tell you one thing though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my first choice, during the season, the way OKC was playing, blowing everybody out, I said that they would win it all, and they still may.
Yeah.
But I also watching them in the playoffs. They're not that same team they were during the regular season either. They don't look like they invincible.
Right.
They look like they could be beat if the right team come out at the right time. They could be beat.
Right. They can be beat.
And
they don't look.
Anybody can be. Well, like you say, if you let
they just don't look invincible like they did during the regular season.
Right. If you let them run up and down the court,
you see the same team in the series.
And
and then
figure it out.
Every game
somebody wearing you down.
Supposed to be adjustments. Every game supposed to be some adjustments made.
But you saw what happened, right? You saw how everybody thought Boston was going to sweep the Knicks.
Of course they did.
Oh yeah, everybody thought that
because of during the season.
I wouldn't necessarily say sweep them, but we was on the side of caution that they was going to beat them.
Right.
Yeah, everybody thought that was going to happen, but you know, as everybody else know, the playoffs is different.
Oh, it's over. Yes, it definitely is.
Right.
The Knicks is hungry. It's been 50-something years. It's about due. I just feel sorry for the cops in the city when we win.
Oh, yeah, he was just talking about that, man.
We just was talking about that.
Havoc. It's gonna be havoc.
What we talked about earlier. If they tell me to report to work, I'm going AWOL. I'm not gonna be out there.
Well, I mean, we just gotta think logically. We older. We're not gonna be out there trying to be fearless, running traffic, running up the light posts and things of that nature.
You did not just see what happened when they just won that last game with Boston.
It was crazy.
Right.
You probably wasn't watching the news.
I did watch all the stuff.
It was pandemonium.
And that's just the second round.
Right.
If you see that in the second round, imagine what it's going to look like when we win the championship.
It's ridiculous.
It's going to be crazy.
Yes.
And I just hope they're not going to turn over cars and light shit on fire.
That is bound to happen.
Don't have your car parked over there.
That is bound to happen.
That is crazy, though.
But and again, just being on the side of caution.
Don't go 33rd and 7th. That's
right.
That's all.
Just being on the side.
8th or 9th.
And you said something right too.
34.
You said us, the mature people.
Right.
It's not going to be out there doing the crazy stuff.
You
got a whole lot of youngins in New York right now ready to go crazy.
Wilding, ready to wild out.
Well, they don't know nothing else.
And when you check the demographics, You don't see it's black people out there, but they ain't majority black.
No,
no.
It definitely ain't.
Most of these,
Definitely ain't.
most of these guys ain't even probably real Knicks fans. They just happy to.
They just
you know,
happy
right,
because
like
they
a
open space.
bandwagon.
That's it.
they could go out there
That's
and just act a fool.
Right,
That's all it
You
is.
know, give them a reason to act a fool.
Yep.
And don't let nobody wearing another shirt or team color walking down because you in trouble.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you in
you in
trouble.
trouble.
Don't have a Pacers jersey
Yeah.
on.
You
don't
You said that
have-
they was throwing stuff
Yeah.
at the
Throwing
guy.
garbage at
I was
them.
like, yo, man.
Don't
That-
have a
and-
Celtics jersey
and-
on.
My man Les was calling me, talk about let's go to Indiana. They checking it. I'm like, I'm not going to Indiana. I'm not doing that.
You
And,
know-
let's go to Boston. I'm not doing that. I'm not.
Nah.
Right.
We
They
went.
the
We
same
went
way.
to Philly last year,
Oh my
and
God.
and there was some guys that was tight,
They-
and I was
they
like,
test y'all.
and I was like, like, yo, man, it's like it was a lot of us there,
Well,
but
Philly's wild.
it was
Yeah.
a lot of us,
Philly is wild.
but it wasn't
But-
no reason to be like, yeah, New York. No, I'm like,
listen.
I want to get
every-
out of here.
Hey, coach, every city's wild
Yeah,
when it's time to be. You know what I mean? When
but there's
it's time
there's
to
some
be,
that
right.
that light it up a lot more
shout
than
out to
others.
Greg
But,
Canty
Yeah, all
watching.
right. You got it. What team never won a championship? Forget
Oh,
about one that
we
did
were just
win.
talking about that.
Yeah, what team never won a championship?
Minnesota,
Grizzlies, Clippers.
It seemed
right.
like the
See, I
Knicks in
remember.
50
Memphis,
something years.
yeah.
I know.
I
Yeah.
retain
So-
information.
Indiana Pacers, they never won.
True.
Yeah.
And Minnesota.
Right.
The Nets.
I
Yo,
guarantee
don't
you.
do that.
What
I
team is that?
guarantee you.
The Nets have never won an
Minnesota
NBA
beat
championship.
OKC.
Right.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Watch how Minnesota be going crazy.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Watch.
It's just not on a bigger
All these-
scale
yeah,
as.
all these cities when they win, they go. You know,
Yeah,
you're
they
gonna
go
hear
nuts.
And it's gonna be all young boys at every city
Right.
doing the wilding out and everything
But
like
see,
that.
setting
but you
cars
gotta-
on fire
but
and
you
all
gotta
that stuff,
think
like
of-
you said.
You got to think of the intensity, the damn, we finally made it.
Right.
The energy that everybody want to get out. Like, yo, once that team win, everybody gonna go batshit
But my
crazy.
thing
Mhm.
is this: your team win a championship. Why are you tearing up your city?
Mhm.
Why are you
That's
lighting
true.
cars on fire? Why are you doing what? That don't make sense. Your team won. That's not how you celebrate.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
dance-
shouldn't celebrate like that.
Dance in the street, pick your stuff up and go on home.
Right, you-
But that's almost like back in the days when they did something to us, like and then where we go riot right in our own neighborhood.
Yeah.
I never
Like
understood
it's
that,
But
man.
we ain't talking about that. We talking about diehard fans
Right.
of a team.
But you think
Nah, I
you
get-
think
I
those
get
young
that.
boys
I
are
get
you
that.
think
You
those
saw
young
what
boys
Philly
are
did
diehard
last. You saw
fans?
what Philly did with the football team last.
Right.
Right.
You
The
see what
Eagles.
Philly did? Philly tore up their whole city.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying that don't make sense. Is what I'm saying.
It don't.
make sense.
It don't, but in the
There's
history, of all the games and
Mhm.
championships, what was the outcome
No,
in history?
Right.
listen.
It's nothing changed. What was the outcome?
I get what you're saying, but you saying like it's okay for that. The way you
No.
say that. What I'm
No.
saying is they do that,
Right.
but it doesn't make sense.
I agree
Right.
with
You
you.
tearing
Sam.
up your own
saying.
city.
Yeah, I
It
agree with
doesn't
you. It don't make
make
sense.
That's not how you celebrate tearing up your city. To me, that don't make sense.
I mean, you enjoy, but you can't be
Yeah,
tearing up
tearing
you
the
can't
place
tear
up.
up your
That
city.
don't make
man.
sense.
Well,
You
I'm not saying it like I'm encouraging it. I don't want you to think.
Right,
I'm not
right.
saying like I'm encouraging it, but I'm just
This
saying
is gonna happen.
I know one thing. I'm
If-
going to
if
be
this
at
happens.
that game. I'm going to be outside.
You
If
can-
I'm not inside or out, I'm going to be in
You
Manhattan
can tell. He
when
said,
they play in that game.
if they win a game on Sunday, say, yo, call up the Red Cup Buffet on Sunday night.
well, that's the barbecue. So we
Well,
gonna
there'll
let that
be other
slide.
Sundays,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. So we'll do it. But I'm definitely going to be in New York because New York going to turn into a party town as it already did.
I hear you, man.
It's okay to
And,
party.
you know,
Ain't nothing wrong.
I don't
with
think I
party.
want to be near that place if they do.
Not MSG.
Yeah, not me. I'll stand near the Barclays, but you.
yeah. You saw how did you see how many blocks that was covered?
Yeah,
I know it's
Yeah.
crazy,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah.
It is
Mob,
crazy.
yo.
That's a sign. That's letting you know
Yeah.
the city's behind that. The
Mhm.
Knicks. The Knicks is going to win everything, and the city going to go batshit crazy.
It is crazy, man. It is crazy.
Well, good luck to them. If I'm lucky, I'm gonna go to game one. I'm gonna jump on the railroad, and when the game over, I'm jumping straight on the railroad.
How much you think them tickets gonna cost you?
Well, depending on what they cost,
Because I know
Somebody
the
sent me
last
something
season,
today.
the seats upstairs was 700 and change.
Yeah.
The back wall,
You would do that?
upper
No.
rafters,
I know.
nosebleed, upper rafters.
Yes, they was 700. That was a cheaper seat.
Wow.
Somebody sent me something. I don't know if that was today. They were saying 4 rows behind the basket.
Oh.
Was like $600 something.
No.
That's
4 rows
only going-
behind the
I'm
Hold
basket.
on, what year?
I'm going
He
by
said what year?
what somebody
Right.
sent me today. They said those same tickets is going for this round $2,400.
Oh, they were 600
The
before.
seats
going
was
for
600
24.
and change a seat.
Oh, normally a normal game.
Okay, they said the last round.
No, 600 was upstairs.
That's what he's saying.
I'm only going
Yeah.
by what I got.
Okay.
They said the seats. They said they said they was 4 rows behind the basket.
And
Right.
they paid 600.
This is what they saying.
Right,
I don't
right,
know. They say
Right.
now those seats are 2,400. I don't think they were 600 behind the.
No,
I
that's
wouldn't say
about
that
10
either.
grand
Yeah,
right there.
because I know upstairs they were selling for 6 and change.
Right.
The
all the
cheapest
way up
seats
top.
is
Where
600-700.
spiking them is at is
Oh, that's-
freaking-
Those
That's
are like
about
10,000.
right. So when
10,
you go
20
back
thousand.
3 rows behind them, you telling me it dropped all the way down
No,
to
it ain't
60
dropped
now.
down that much. I mean,
That's
he
what I-
might. That's probably what they told him, but
Right.
I ain't doubting that. But
Fat Joe said. Fat Joe called them second row seat, Joe Button seats.
the Fed Joe got that kind of money, man.
He should. He should.
Mhm.
Yeah, he should.
Because
I could have sworn I heard
remember
him.
he was bankrupt.
He was
or
what?
something
Bankrupt.
Like
Nah,
he
he
should.
should. He should. He's been in
that.
the
Money coming,
Okay.
He's
money
been in
going.
Yeah, I
enough
guess
things
so.
to have the
They
money.
said 900. Excuse me. What that say?
Yeah, that's
This
a,
guy says
my
client,
client
2
used to
seats,
see row
4th row under the basket where the Knicks bench was with 900. Now they're going for 2,400.
Mm.
That's
900
that's
is even
that's a
low
little
for-
bit. That's a
consider
little
They
bit
said it
off.
was 900.
900
They
is
said
low
they going for
Because
2,400.
last week, like you said, the seats upstairs. Where
I know
sat
those were
was like
$600.
$1,100.
Oh yeah,
So he must know somebody.
he must those because he said they
He
his
gotta know
clients.
Yeah,
somebody.
maybe
Well, I-
some. Yeah,
well,
Somebody knows.
he was just trying to get rid of him out.
I'm
That's
not
who
getting
you
mine
know,
off the
Ken,
wire,
trust.
so I'm
Hey.
getting mine from MSG. So
Right.
like,
You
it's
and
either yes or no for me.
Yeah, well, he knows somebody.
I was gonna ask you, what's up with my man? Shout out to Eric King. You and Eric King. What's up?
Yeah,
King,
no.
King gonna watch it on TV like the
Eric,
rest of
he
us.
gonna
Eric's
show-
not answering the phone.
Because I know
Let me
Eric's a
stop.
diehard too.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
he be doing the thing on TV, like so you see it and stuff, man.
All right,
Right,
y'all.
that's what I'm
He
saying.
records the games. And
So he has season tickets, so he might have a
a plug.
Yeah.
I ain't spending that much
But
money.
all right, y'all. So again, we
Let me
down
call-
to the
let me-
last.
hold on, let me call
we
Chris.
last-
Say you know what
We
that-
down to the last 3 minutes, y'all. So that's the guy.
I know.
All
I
right.
know how you can get the game on
So
TV.
all right.
But
So
it's on Channel 7
Right.
and whatever.
all right.
in there.
Again,
You
so
know, he-
we
you
will
know,
be here
Right.
Sunday
Baseball's a
from
different
1
story.
to 9
Right.
with the barbecue at Bars and Hoops. So
1
again,
to
it's
9?
110
1 to 9.
Jericho
1 to 9.
Turnpike. Make a right on Garfield. The parking lot in the back
Make
is
sure you say
going down
Floral
in
Park.
Floral
Yeah,
Park.
Floral
All right.
Park, not New Hyde Park.
All right, Floral Park.
Floral
110 Jericho Turnpike, Floral Park. That's May 25th, y'all. So
Bring
if you
some-
can come out,
Bring
bring
something.
right,
That's
bring some ice.
Don't come empty-handed. Bring
Bring-
something.
We're gonna make it happen, y'all. It's going down. So
Bring something.
let's wrap it up, y'all. We had a good show today. Let's say goodbyes. Let's go Knicks. All right, here we go. Magnificent.
My man Kenny didn't respond. I apologized on air, and he didn't respond.
He was.
I hope you heard.
He
Huh?
was traveling back.
He's traveling today.
Yes.
All right. I hope you let Big D know that I apologize. And but anyway, once again, good show. We appreciate everybody, all the callers, and everybody who listens to us. Once again, without you guys, we'll be doing this for nothing. So we appreciate you guys.
The relic,
Good luck, Knicks. That's all I'm gonna say.
sir.
I'm just saying it.
Good luck, Knicks.
Yeah, I'm not a Knicks fan.
I know. I
So
can tell
so
from
I'm
the way
giving
you
it to
said
him
that.
right
Come on,
now.
sir.
Thanks everybody for listening. And yes, I'm gonna put a few dollars on the Knicks so that they can lose.
All right. Another one.
That's two.
Coach Kirk. Thank you, Sheila. Have a good one, fellas. All right,
This is all I gotta say, right?
all right, let's go, Nick.
Hey, I ain't gotta
G
say-
Money.
I ain't gotta say nothing.
Everyone have a good night.
See, all right, everybody listening with an ear. See y'all Sunday.
Make sure
we'll send out invitations.
Make sure
again.
you take some of them the minutes off of Greg.
All right. Thank you, Tiny, for stopping in. See y'all next week. Peace. Sunday, y'all. Come on out.
Red Cup Affair. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all funny.
They don't sound alike, don't they? No, it don't.
I say everything sounds you know what I mean?